Objective Fan. The Objective Fan.
What's up, Knicks Nation? All is quiet on the Tyler Nickel front. We're going to talk about what potentially will happen next as Tyler Nickel officially becomes an unrestricted free agent. Gerson Rosas, he left the Knicks. As he said, he wants to go on another adventure. My question of the day is, will Gerson Rosas come back to be a thorn in our side? Mock trade. I want to discuss a mock trade for what is becoming a Knicks fan favorite, which is a trade for Diabate out of the Charlotte Hornets. Also, we also got to talk about why the Knicks' patience in free agency may finally pay off. And our flagship topic of the day, why a lot of you guys are here. All right. Did the Knicks refuse to go all in Big Bodega Cat? An insider has some information. Also, we have to talk about how one veteran deal that was recently signed could be compared to our Josh Hart and what he may expect in his next contract. Also, the Atlanta Hawks, our rival, a dislikable rival, clearly has structured their team in the offseason to get payback against the Knicks. We're going to talk about all of these items today on the Blue and Orange Brunch Show. Man, first off, man, big time salute. Welcome everybody in the building. All right. I do hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey, what's going on, y'all? All right, hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. I see you got my man Joseph up in the building. Hey, Joseph, give them Philly fans hell. What's good, Darlene? I see you. Zach, OKF Nation, we in the building. Double A the Alley Cat, what's good? We in the building. As you guys continue to enter the building, smash that like button. Do me a favor. All right. Speaking of the likes, we got to definitely smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe now, because we know that in the last 28 days, well over 50% of you guys who watched were not subscribed. So subscribe now and help us close the gap. All right. What's good, y'all? Greetings as I'm trying to get my soundboard up. All right. Welcome. I mean, it's very hot on Friday, a heat wave for the next couple of days in New York City. So anytime I get a heat wave, I go straight to the basketball jerseys. I like to be comfortable. But what's good, y'all? Couple of things. I will go over the MVP donors today because I forgot to do it the other day. Also, the New York edition, of course, is available for pre-order. Definitely take your time to go, check out the link tree so you can place yours. Just to let you guys know the schedule as well. We'll be back tomorrow for the Blue and Orange Brunch. I don't know if I'm doing another show tonight, but I might have to because I'm expecting some nickel news. And I'm going to go over Tyler Nickel in a second because I do have an update that I want to share. You know, my theory on Tyler Nickel, so to speak. And that's it. You know, we got NBA Saturdays, of course, and then we got members only Sundays going down. But salute to you guys, man. I do appreciate you. Uh, what else I want to say? I'm just gonna get straight to research, man. I do got the soundboard here. All right, big time salute to y'all. All right, let me get the research mode early. I want to start off with some topics. Well, before I get the research mode, I'm gonna start with Tyler Nickel. Let's do it like this. So I just want to make a couple of things clear because I had to do some research. One thing about the NBA, while it's not rocket science, it is complex. It's not simple, right? A lot of the deals and like with Cat, there's some things about Cat extension that we're going to talk about today. But you know, the technicality in the rules is very difficult to navigate if you don't understand the way the business of basketball is structured, or you don't even know how to find the answer or where to find the answers, right? So that's part of the challenge when it comes to just getting answers, right? This is why you need to listen to the right people, and this is why I do what I do, because I want to help enhance the fan experience by one thing I doing to make your guys' life easier by helping you guys get the right information. This is why I stay sourced up all the time. So a lot of people were a little confused as to how the Tyler Nickel eligibility works. I looked into it. So if the Knicks had to, by the August 5th deadline, by the way, I think that change came in the 2023 CBA, whereas it used to be September 15th. But now today you have until the 5th to make a decision as to what you're going to do with your second round picks. I think part of the reason for the change is because of, you know, there's other alternatives, options. You don't want to have these young guys held up, especially now that they can go back to college, right? And that was the recent injunction that was done by a judge, which gave Tyler Nickel an extra year of eligibility. All right. So we discussed that yesterday. We also discussed the fact that the money that he will receive in college through the NIL will be more than the two-way contract. So a two-way contract for Tyler Nickel is not attractive. It's not going to work for him. If he can go back to college for that 1 year, he'll make more money. This is why it's quiet on the front right now. I'm assuming, though, the silence that we're getting is good news from the Knicks. It usually is. It's sort of like Jose Alvarado, right? Jose Alvarado, we know he was a pending free agent, right? And there is no benefit for Jose Alvarado to wait, right? Why does he have to wait for the Knicks to decide to do what they have to do to give them more time? You usually do that when you want to work with the organization. So I'm predicting that the Knicks quietly offered him a contract. He declined it. And he's going back to college. This is what I'm speculating. Now, that could change. He might sign a two-way. You just never know. I doubt the two-way would be the option. Another option could be he gets a deal with the Knicks. Now, last year, Mo Diawara had to wait till September 15th when he was brought in, not on a two-way, he was brought in on a non-guaranteed contract, which then became guaranteed after a while, okay? So, a two-way deal was not enough for us to retain the rights of Nickel if he declined the two-way deal, because more than likely he will decline it. He's going to want either an NBA contract or he's going to go to college. It just doesn't make any sense for him. Especially a sharpshooter like him, he could go to any program and get a bag and get a role and be a star. He's not going to be a star on a two-way contract. I hate to break it to y'all. So the Knicks had to offer him a regular deal. And the Knicks did not. Well, I can't say that. We don't know what happened. I'm taking a wild guess that they possibly didn't, but I do think the fact that he is silent, and I just was on his X page. He doesn't tweet a lot anyway, So I wouldn't bank on Tyler Nichols' X page to give you an update if that's what you're waiting for. And I kind of been, just going back and forth on different pages just to see, all the Nick people. All right. But yeah, nothing new on the Tyler Nickel front right now. All right. But I just want to give that clarification. I'm under the assumption that Nickel is working out something with the Knicks. And it could be beneficial to both parties where they say, hey, we'll offer you a deal, right? It'll be, now here's the trick, the cheat code. This is just my theory, right? The cheat code is to offer him the Exhibit 10, which is a non-guaranteed contract. He says, no, I don't want that. I want a guaranteed deal. If you can't give me a guaranteed deal, I'm going to go back to college. Does that make sense? So this is where I think we are, is my prediction. We'll see if it's right. But I think that's potentially why you're not even hearing nothing about Nickel. I think him and the Knicks are working together on an amicable solution that benefits both parties. And that would be the best thing for the Knicks. All right. Also, really quickly, I'm not going to spend much time on this. The NBA schedule has been confirmed to come out next week. All right. And while we don't have it right now, there is some hypothetical things that not hypothetical. There's been some, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say hypothetical. I'm multitasking. I'm doing a lot. There are some things that are on the schedule that are intriguing. Like we got some details. And I was going to talk more about this on NBA Saturday, but opening night will be on October 20th. The first Emirates Cup game will take place, I think, the last weekend in October. All right. All-Star Weekend will be in Arizona on the 19th to the 21st. By the way, I'm looking to, even though I may do another 24-hour marathon stream, we were the first to do that, by the way. Salute to us. I may consider doing another another 24-hour Nick Fanathon for that. I might make that annual. So for sure. But I might do another one before then too. So, but we'll see what I got to talk to Maxine, the super producer. We'll get to the bottom of it. And what else? The trade deadline will be February 11th. Okay. Which would honestly give the Knicks some impetus to sign Towns very soon. Because if not to say that we would trade Towns. I mean, some of you got people who in the chat especially want to trade Towns, but I'm just saying that, usually you try to get the extension done because you want to maintain the flexibility to be able to trade a player who you signed in the offseason. So so we got to keep an eye out on that. I expect to see some extensions get signed now so teams can maintain that flexibility. Because once you sign someone to an extension, you have to wait 6 months. All right. And there's also going to be a London game in Paris. All right, where the Spurs will play the Pelicans. Salute to my man Will from France. He actually flew out. He met me for the parade. My man Will. He was hoping that the Knicks would play the Spurs in France, but unfortunately, that's not the case because he wanted to see his beloved New York Knicks overseas. We got fans everywhere, right? Okay, but that's just the schedule. I'm not spending much time on that. I'm gonna keep it pushing. All right. Yes, if you just joined, I ain't talk about it yet. We're gonna talk about Karl Anthony Towns. Are the Knicks refusing to go all in on Towns? What does that mean? I will get to that in a second. All right. By the way, if you do want to call the show, you can. All right. We will accept calls on this show. Just remember, if I miss your call, I will call back. So keep that in mind. If you are at work and you want to get in here, I'll get back to you a little bit later. All right. I do got a couple of more topics I want to get into before we get to the flagship topic of the day, which is Big Bodega Cat. I want to talk about Diabate for a second, right? Because a lot of you guys like Moussa Diabate. And, I have a mock trade here, and I might give you my own trade that I would like to see for Diabate. Okay. Now, Moussa Diabate, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who started with the Charlotte Hornets last year. right? He's like a slim guy, but he has good size. He's strong, 6'10". He was the guy who wanted to fight Jalen Duren, all right, from the Pistons. And Jalen Duren was fighting him backwards. Remember we was making fun of that? That was kind of funny. But so pretty much this young fella right here, he is available, or he may be made available, because the Charlotte Hornets have a lot of big men at their disposal. So we don't really know, what to anticipate going forward there, because, do you keep all of these bigs? Do you look to seek balance? Because I feel like the Hornets don't really have a real point guard. All right. But let me get this on the screen here. Got a source. Now, this isn't my trade, but I might give you my trade as another alternative to this proposed trade. All right. This is from Heavy. No, this is from SI. My fault. We go back to research mode. Bam. So Moussa Diabate mock trade sending breakout Hornets big man to the Knicks. Okay. So I figured I'd get some suspense going. Knicks reportedly monitored Moussa Diabate as a replacement for Mitchell Robinson. Oh my God, the replacement for Mitchell. Y'all know how I feel about that. If you're new to the channel, this theory that, oh man, we have to replace Mitch. What are we going to do? I strongly disagree with that thought process. I think that we already replaced Mitch. His name is Andre Drummond. Now, that may not sit right with a lot of y'all. If it doesn't, all you got to do is call me up, 646-995-8389. We could talk about it. But this notion that, oh no, what are we going to do? We don't have Mitchell Robinson. Oh man, shame on you. You should have got another center. And oh no, there's no more centers left. Like, we got to stop, bro. They ain't stopped making centers when they made Mitchell Robinson. All right. It's not like he's the only one left. All right. He's the last of the centers. No, it is what it is, man. We wasn't going to pay him $47 million to be a glorified backup who gets 13 minutes in the playoffs. I'd rather pay somebody on a minimum contract and give them that $14 million. Nonetheless, Diabate, a lot of you guys are excited about Diabate. And the good news is the Charlotte Hornets, they don't know what the hell they're doing half the time. So there may be an opportunity to fleece the Hornets here. Hornets suddenly have a problem they hadn't had for 4 years. Too many good big men. That's a great problem to have. I wish we had that problem. For a long time, they've searched for an answer down low. Now they have more answers than questions, okay? So because of that, they're proposing that, hey, you should come off on one of these big guys. Moussa Diabate. Now, if this is true, think about this. This is very crucial. If this statement is true, what makes you think that we would trade him? Moussa Diabate was the breakout star last year for the Hornets. And he would make sense as a possible trade option because the Hornets know what he is. Okay, so if he was a breakout star, why would they trade him? Could y'all explain that to me? I really want to know. Why would I trade my breakout star to the Knicks when he was crucial for us last season? Ryan Kalkbrenner is also an option, right? And is massive and he's less developed, right? He's a big guy, pretty much. Okay. Diabate was 14th in the entire NBA with 1,000 minutes or more in on-off splits. He was amazing. Okay. All right. Now, look at this. So the trade proposal, I could have sworn they had a trade proposal here. Solution isn't for him to trade him. He's happy. They didn't got the proposal? Diabate, is he worth it? Okay, so all right, they do got it. Okay, cool. First thing first, the Hornets can ask for Miles McBride to match salaries to fill up their backup point guard need. All right, they need someone for at least a year to let Christian Anderson Jr. develop. And McBride is a free agent next season. I thought that was an interesting proposal right there. That Deuce can go there and he could honestly help this young fella right here get a year in, and they could let Deuce walk or trade him, right? But how do you guys feel about that alternative? I actually like that rationale. But will the Hornets see it that way? Now, the draft compensation that they're proposing is attaching the 2028 second round pick via Phoenix, a 2030 pick via Philadelphia, and the deal likely gets done. So 2 second rounds and deuce for Diabate. You know how I get down. I'm going to go straight to the Sports Track, which is my favorite website, if you don't know. Hold on, let me just close some of these tabs. I got too many damn tabs open. All right. So I'm going to go right here to Sports Track because, you know, I like to do my own research, man. I'm an independent thinker. All right. So that's what they're proposing. 2 second rounds and deuce. And I like the rationale behind the deal. I think it makes sense. And honestly, could we do Trade Finder? Let's see. Team rankings, overview, tax. Damn, where the hell is it at? Sorry, yeah, I'm looking for the trade thingy to make it easier. I don't see it, so I'm about to keep it pushing. Like the website is glitched. You know what it is? It's because of my ad blocker. It's probably throwing the website off. Forgot how to find it. Let me see. Cap. Wasn't in cap. No. Oh, there it goes. Proposed trade. Duh. All right. So we're going to do the Knicks and we're going to do the Hornets. All right. So we're going to play around with this for a second. But what do you, I do want to know what you think about their proposed trade. I do think it would require Deuce to get Diabate. I don't, you know, I think they would feel like, you know, because Diabate was a star, they said he was a young emerging star. That was their words. Okay. Let's see. Kobe White, Brandon Miller, Grant Williams. All right. Tejan Salon. Okay. And this is the kid they're talking about, the Anderson kid. They want to give him time to develop. All right. Cool. So Diabate is right here. We're gonna send Diabate to New York. And we're gonna go to the Knicks and we're gonna send them Deuce McBride. All right. So as you can see right there on the screen, the trade is successful. We also free up $1.5 million. Honestly, for all the Tyler Nickel people, if the concern is Tyler Nickel going back to school, I mean, we already passed the deadline, so I think more than likely he goes back to school. The goal here would be you could sign another free agent now. Because you have 3.3, so you add the 1.5 to the 3.3. If you sign Tyler Nickel, this would be enough to sign him and get. So now you could have 15 guys on the roster. Just a hypothetical if you were to do this trade. And then, do they got the picks here? Yeah, they do. So you could just add the 2 second round picks if you want. It was the Phoenix, and it was the, what was the other one? Phoenix and Philly. Boom. All right, deal done. I'm going to give you another trade that I would prefer. So let me go back to the roster. I would prefer, and this is just me. All right. This is just me. I don't want to trade Deuce McBride. All right. I really don't. So I'm going to remove him from the table. Right. Because I got a video on the channel explaining why Deuce McBride could very well return to the New York Knicks. All right. And a shocking twist of fate. Deuce stays with the Knicks. I'm willing to shop. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I'm gonna trade Tyler Kolek. All right. All right. I'm trading Tyler Kolek. Sorry. All right. Now let's see. The trade fails because you're a little bit short on the salary. So you can't do Kolek by himself. So I would be like, look, man, we're going to give you Pacome Dottie as well. All right. So let's see. The trade fails. Oh, okay. They would be first apron hard cap. So then we got to go back to Charlotte. Let's see. I don't think they got another salary here. I could do it. So, all right, just for the ish and giggles, let's just add another team. My trade would be a 3-team deal. I'm trying to remember off the top of the head who still has money. Maybe the Clippers. Let's see if the Clippers have money. They don't, so it wouldn't be the Clippers. Damn, who has money? Somebody has to have money. So none of these teams got cap space. I don't know why I clicked on Philly. Maybe the Nets. Let's try the Nets. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Let me see some. I'm gonna keep the Nets there. Hold on. Let me. Oh damn! Are all these teams added to the deal? How do I delete them? All right, hold on. Do I gotta go back? Let me reset it. Let me reset it. Let me reset. Reset. Yeah, select new teams. There you go. All right. So my deal would be this. This is my deal. I'm not saying it's going to get done. I would find a third team to trade Pacone. I would love to just get rid of him, right? Find a third team that would absorb his contract. There's teams out there. I just can't remember who has cap space. I don't feel like doing the exercise, but this would be my deal. All right. And I would give away 3 second-round picks. So I'm going back to Diabate, right? I know this won't happen, but they got a lot of big men. If I could give them a second-round pick, 3 second-round. Hell, I'll give 4 second-round. Now, this is just my trade. Like, the Knicks would never do this. But I'm coming off of Tyler Kolek and Pacone. Sorry. I hate to break it to y'all. Coming off of these guys, right? Maybe you could send Kolek to the third team, but nah, I don't think they will want Pacone. So Kolek would have to go to Charlotte. Pacone would have to go to another team. All right. And then we get Diabate. Then we got a lot of second-round picks. I mean, you could just add them to the list. We could do the Washington pick, give him a Phoenix pick, give him the Philly pick. Shit, I even give him our pick in 27. All right. And so the deal doesn't work because you would have to find a third team for Kolek. But then I would give 4 second-round picks, get Diabate, and give up Pacome Dadier. I don't think the Hornets turn down 4 second-round picks because more than likely they're going to lose Diabate anyway if they don't want to sign him, or they're going to have to trade him next year, and they might not get this. So what do you guys think about the Diabate deal? Or do you guys prefer to trade Deuce? And think about it. The reason why I'm giving away 4 second-round picks is Leon is not going to use them. It's not like Leon is going to make the most of the second-round picks. So let's get rid of him. Let's trade him, man. What do you guys think about that? Your boy, Tyler Kolek, gone. By the way, if you just joined the show, smash that like button. All right. I do appreciate you guys for all of your support. Smash that like button so we can let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And we're still cooking with hot grease. We about to get into that Towns topic. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed, because well over half of you guys who watched in the last 28 days, you're not subscribed. So subscribe now and help us close the gap. We're on the road to 10K subs. Each time we reach new milestones, we do have special giveaways. And you have to be subscribed to find out when the next giveaway will be, all right? And really quickly, I'm about to get in the cat right now. I just want to give a salute to all the people who support the show really quickly. These are my people, man. We spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Salute to my man, AP. AP. What's good, my brother? I appreciate you. MVP Donut. Buzzer Beater, what's up? Cleo. Don't call me Cleo. Call me Champ. J-Tap. OKF Nation Plus. My man, Kevin. What's up? D from LA. How's it going? All right. Is that New York Demon? Okay. Big time salute to you. All right. Quana Penn. What's up? Rowan the Afro. Super Jones. What's up? Tugboat Taylor. Captain of the OKF Nation ship. V-Dash. Big time salute. And to the Cashapp crew. my man Ty, Blue, and Gino. And I got to give a big time salute to my man Killer B for donating the memberships. That's my MVP donors. I do appreciate y'all and all y'all support. Right before the season starts, I'm going to do another MVP donor giveaway. Just to let y'all know, because you guys are the lifeblood of the channel. The last giveaway we gave to King from Brooklyn. Salute to my man King from Brooklyn. He got a pre-order of the 82 Nights, the New York edition, right? So I want to talk about Big Bodega Cat. All right, he's somebody who is facing a huge question. Honestly, the fate of the Knicks franchise rests on Cat's decision this summer. We got some news to coming out talking about Cat. Now, I also got a clip I want to play, and I'm going to play the clip before I get to the news, right? Or soundbite. Because it's very important and it's very relatable, even though it's a different circumstance. But I feel like it's very relatable to what we're going to experience right now with Karl-Anthony Towns. And this is someone who is his big homie, Shaquille O'Neal, right? We won't give Shaq any salutes because he's a Knick hater. But he says something that was very valuable, right? One thing I say, I don't think the players, NBA players for the most part, don't make the best commentators unless they really watch the game. Unless you just like entertainment, like Shaq and Charles, those guys are very entertaining, you know, very funny, if you're into that. But in terms of getting like real sound information as to where the game is going, you usually have to get it from the guys who really pay attention to the game. So I want to play this clip from Shaq because I thought that what he said here was very valuable information. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns needs to listen to this. I'm going to play.
The reason why I got traded, it wasn't about me and Kobe beef. It was what they wanted me to take less money. Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that? He said that the reason why I got traded, it wasn't the Shaq and Kobe beef. It's because the Lakers wanted me to take less money.
The reason why I got traded, it wasn't about me and Kobe beef. It was what they wanted me to take less money. Mm-hmm. Not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Cole said at least 10 when we asked him. He said at least 10.
Yeah, it said 7 to 10.
If it wasn't for the Spurs.
When they saying 7 to 10, they talking about championships. That's how much championships they would have won had they stayed together. And if the Spurs weren't there.
No, that's true.
Cole said.
No, that's true. But I got money. I had money.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just should have been like, all right, I raised you enough. It's your team now. Mm-hmm. I know.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it back. But did you hear what he said? I got enough money, right? Don't you think it's a little similar to where Towns is? Towns 35%. I'll play some more.
I raised you enough. It's your team now. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm still gonna do my 28-10. Mm-hmm. All right, but I was like, nah. I want 150. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you like. If I had all I would do again, I probably would have had a meeting with the family. What y'all want to do? Mm-hmm. Want me to take less money, take a less role, stay here, or you would still want me to be Shaq?
Take a less money, less role to still be here, or do you want me to be Shaq? Now, I know the situations is not the exact same, right? Shaq is Shaq, but remember, Shaq was traded. Right. So the notion that a player can be traded, even if it's a beloved Knick, oh no. Listen, man, when it comes down to that bottom line, anybody can go. That is a fact. But I'm playing this because when I heard this, I was like, wow, see, this is the jewels we can get from the former players when they tell us about their experience as undeniable. This is valuable lessons that I think a lot of players should take.
Here's that ego. And the ego still got me what I want. I still went to Miami. Pat took care of me. I still won one, but I would have liked to have stayed there the rest of my career.
He would have liked to have stayed there the rest of his career. What did Big Bodega Cat say that he wanted to do, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? What did he say he wanted to do? He said he wanted to remain a Knick for the rest of his career. Now, I'm not trying to say that Towns is on Shaq level. I know I can hear y'all now. Oh, man, what are you trying to say? Towns is as good as Shaq? No, but I'm bringing up Shaq to show you a guy who wish he would have sacrificed, who's on a higher level than Cat. He also has a different mind state from Cat because he was the one that was telling Cat, yo, man, you got to be aggressive. You got to be a big, down there. You got to be, da-da-da-da. Cat's like, no, I'm about team. So if you're about team, and this guy is the guy that's I'm the man guy, he's saying he wish he should sacrifice. Cat, what are you expected to do? What do we expect Cat to do in this circumstance? This is very important stuff here. Talking about the fate of the franchise. So I started with the clip because I felt like it ties in perfectly to where we are and where I think we're going. So the Knicks refused to go all in on Cat, meaning that offering him the max deal. So if there is a discrepancy, and I'm not saying that there is a discrepancy, but if there is a discrepancy with the money, there is a world where your favorite player, Bodega Cat, will be on the first ship out of here. Remember, it's business, it's not personal. If we can't agree to terms, then I'm going to have to trade you. That's just facts. Now, we're all not banking on that, but we got an update from somebody who has some information. All right. Town remains under contract for the next 2 seasons, although next year will be the player option. According to James L. Edwards of The Athletic, the Knicks are expected to offer Towns a contract extension, which is great news. Hold on. This is great news. The reason why this is great news is because the business is actively being worked out. Very quiet, which is the Knicks style. They like it quiet. You're not going to get no details. You're going to wake up and you're going to see Cat signs this deal. All right. So I played the Shaq clip just because I feel like it's similar. We just won the championship. We want to win more championships. So now we're at the table right now. I'm not saying Leon is asking Cat to take less, but I'm going to go back to my favorite website, which is Sports Track, and I just got to show you the money. I got an article I'm going to be writing talking about my second apron theory of the potential chance of the Knicks going into the second apron. I hate to break it to you. It wasn't going to be this offseason, nor was it going to be next offseason. All right. Got to wait for the article to come out to figure out when I'm talking about. But I'm going to fast forward to next season. Now, the way this stands, if Cat doesn't take a discount and he signs a deal at 35%, maybe this 61 won't be 61. It might be 57, 58. No, it might be more like 58, 59, right? Okay, cool. That only gives you $2 million. You have $9 million to sign 4 players. And, you got Deuce McBride, who could potentially be gone. That's really the only other notable free agent. You do get an extra $5 million with Pacome Dadier, all right? But, Tyler Kolek has a team option, which you can opt back in. Either way, you're still going to be a little tight. However, if Towns takes a little bit less, we're talking about 5% off of the max, right? Which will bring it down to 30% of the cap. This 61 becomes 54, which gives us more money to build a team to go for a 3-peat. Salute to the Knicks getting a 3-peat. Hey, that's what it's going to be until it's not for me, right? So you win your second championship. Cat already sacrificed. You're not going to worry about this next year, but now you have enough money to go get you a player or even potentially sign Deuce back, right? But Towns is going to have to sacrifice some money for us to keep this dream alive. Because if Cat says, no, pay me the 272, this number may go down a little bit, but not much. It'll probably go down to $58, $59 million and give you potentially an extra $1 million. By the way, this is a projected salary cap increase. This is projecting that the salary cap goes up 10% or 8%. What if the salary cap only goes up 6%? What happens then? Money becomes less. And you're paying him what you're paying him. Right? So all I'm saying, y'all, is I expect Cat to take shorter money. And Edwards is saying that one thing I'm certain is that the Knicks decision makers will offer Towns an extension. What I'm not certain of and don't expect is whether the cash conscious Knicks will offer him the max contract. So yeah, that's what I mean by them not going all in. And you heard what Shaq said. If the great Shaquille O'Neal can be traded, you better bet your bottom dollar that Towns can be traded. I know it would break your little Knick hearts. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Towns is gone. I'm talking about the business of basketball. This is not emotional fan talk. I am the objective fan. I'm not telling you what I want. What I think Cat's gonna take the discount. I think it only makes sense based on what Shaq said. I wish I would have stayed in LA. Towns wants to retire a Knick. Right? Now, there is another caveat I want to add to the table because you got to go to the CBA to get this information. All right. Now, designated veteran Supermax extensions have restrictive timing rules and can only be completed during the applicable off-season window. So basically, if this deal isn't signed this off-season, oh, you could bet your bottom dollar on the trade before the deadline. Now, once again, I'm not banking on Shaq. I'm not banking on Shaq or Towns to be traded, right? I think they're going to work out a deal. But if you don't think that if Towns doesn't sign a deal this summer, the only time that he can sign it, I don't know when the other designation will pop up, when the other window. This is what I read here from a source, all right? So he can't just sign it like anybody else. Most other types of extensions can be signed anytime. But when you have the veteran Supermax, there's only a small window of time that deal can be signed. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying Towns is getting traded. Relax. Once again, what I'm saying to you is that there is a world where he could be traded. All right? And that's why I started with the Shaq soundbite. I'm going to get to the phone lines, call up oh, damn. But that's the rules. All right, hold on. You don't got to worry about the hang up because we still got one. But this is the rules. Everybody calls up. We get 3 minutes. And you hear the buzzer. It's a hard clock. So these are the rules. Even though I didn't mean to go there. But I wanted to go here. 646-995-8389. Call up. Voice your opinion. If I miss your call, I will call back. Continue smashing that like button if you hadn't already. It's very important. By the way, not only are we talking about Cat and the update from James Edwards, that they will be offering him an extension this offseason, we also are asking the question, will Gershon Rosas become a concern for the Knicks if he goes to another team? We also talked about Diabate. All right. We also talked about the Tyler Nickel front. What's going on with Tyler Nickel? We talked about that as well. All right. And I gave you a mock trade for your boy Diabate since you like him. I'm willing to give up 4 second-round picks because we don't use him anyway. We'll see what Leon decides to do. But Deuce McBride also would more than likely be the candidate. And the rationale would be you could rent Deuce for a year, trade him, and build your young player's future. I thought that was actually a really good suggestion. That's why I shared that article. 646-995-8389. Call up. By the way, I just want to give you guys a very quick reminder that the 82 Nights New York edition is now available for pre-order. All right. And of course, this includes the complete 26-27 Knicks schedule, plus all 12 components of the 82 Nights basketball intelligence system. That is game tracking, stat trends, 10 game reviews. All right. Players to watch, fan engagement pages, season reflections, and much more. Pre-orders include free shipping, and your journal will be scheduled to arrive to you in early October, right before the season begins. All you have to do is reserve your copy now by checking out my link tree, which is pinned in the chat. That is linktree/TheObjectiveFan to go place your pre-order today. Don't delay, because the free shipping is for a limited time. All right. Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys inside the new and improved 82 Nights Club. Big time salute to everybody who already placed their orders. Do appreciate you guys for your support. Let me get to the phone lines. Let's see who we got in the building. Hold on. I got my man Moses. All right. And if I miss your call, I am doing callbacks for the record. All right. That's for the record. Hopefully we get him. If not, we'll keep it pushing. By the way, continue to smash that like button as well.
Yeah, hello.
Uh-oh. Moses in the building.
What's going on?
Yo,
I
family?
don't have much time. I don't want to see
go.
Deuce go, bro. Like, why would you trade Deuce?
Why would you trade Deuce? You wouldn't trade him for Diabate?
How good is he?
Diabate was the starting center for the Hornets last year.
Oh.
And they have too many centers. They got too many big guys.
Oh, well, I wouldn't trade Deuce for him.
Well, I said Tyler Kolek. I was willing to trade
Yeah.
Tyler Kolek and Pacone.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, 4 second-round picks.
Yeah, but are you gonna have picks though? This is something you never talked about.
Are you gonna have picks after you trade the 4 second round? I got a question for you. How many second-round picks did we have in this year's draft?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
Right, and then so we had 3 picks. We had a first round and 2 second rounds. Then we moved back. We kept moving back. Now we're at a point where we're not even signing our second-round picks.
Oh, I mean,
So
I would want us to keep the first rounds at least.
No. I said second-round picks. Not. I said 4 second-round picks, not first-round picks.
So how many first-round picks we have?
You got your 2030. You got swaps, I think, in 28. And another swap in another year, and you got your 2033 and your 2032.
Oh, I think we good on the picks, really, based off what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving up the second-round picks, man. I mean, we're not using them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I would do that instead of trading Deuce, because we're gonna need Deuce, especially the way he plays. We're gonna need that.
Yeah. And there's a world where he gets a bag too. I believe Deuce can get paid, but that's just me.
But if you Deuce, why would you leave the team that you just won a championship on to go to or another garbage team? Why would you do that?
Money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but anyways, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, fam. I do not know. Like. Plus, what Shaq was saying about what you want to call him about Mitchell
sacrifice.
Robinson.
Oh, you're talking about the other video I dropped.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, Shaq don't know what he's talking about. Okay, because one, like, think about this. Like, you talking about a player that can't even score. I mean, defensively he's okay, but a player that can't even score. Why would you could replace somebody who's who could rebound and score, like an Andre Drummond? You understand?
Right.
Man, I wouldn't trade dudes. I'll trade those other guys that you mentioned for Diabate. If we could do that, man, we'll be all right. That's all I can say. Just to keep the chemistry, because super team is not always on point. You know what I'm saying? So,
got you, Matt.
So keep the chemistry. That's what's important. We'll be all right. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Moses. All right. Salute to my man Moses at work on the line. And by the way, if you are at work and you want to contribute to the show, but you can't because you're busy. You could always send in a donation, and I will treat your message in place of a call because I know how it is. You know, you can listen to the show, but you can't interact on the phone. But you could always send in a super. I got you. All right. I do got more calls. I'm getting my man D from LA. This should be a good one. I don't know. He said he was Phil Jackson, but he's become Jalen Brunson. I don't know. I got a question for you. Are you Phil Jackson today, or are you Jalen Brunson? Which one? Where are we going?
Dear Deuce, bye.
Oh man, you going
Dear Kolick, goodbye.
Oh damn, you don't give a damn. Okay,
Buddy,
damn.
what
Okay,
are we talking
we
about,
going there today?
Buddy, what?
Let's go. I like
Hack
this
'em
deep from
up.
LA.
Hack it up. Like, first things first, I don't want to disrespect either one of them. My favorite thing about both of them is that they got their ring, so I'm happy for that. But peace. And this is the reason why, right? Number one, Tyler Kolick is not a young kid anymore. That's a 25-year-old. He's a grown.
Yes.
He came into the league like an older, rookie. So there's Jalen Brunson, and we signed Jose Alvarado. He ain't gonna get that much time. He's just not gonna get that much time anymore. Number two, Deuce McBride. Unfortunately for Deuce McBride is a small forward in a point guard's body. His
good point.
height is his biggest issue for being able to fight for him to stay on the Knicks, because he's not great on ball, right? Jose is going to take that job, and if we're going to say we're going to use him as a 3-and-D player, that's cool. But how much is a point guard sized small forward under the second apron?
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Like what?
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, and if we're talking about getting Diabate, I mean, that's how tall is he? Like 6'10", 7 feet.
He's a center. Yeah, he's strong too. He one of them slim, strong dudes.
As Karan tries to say, Karan knows my favorite Knicks player style-wise is Tyler Kolick. Tyler.
That's a fact.
Goodbye.
That's why I'm surprised you said bye. I'm surprised you said
because you're thinking it's not just emotion. It's about the contracts. It's about the second apron, and it's about championships. As soon as they signed Jose, Tyler's days were kind of numbered. It just is what it is. I would love to see him play for the Knicks, but he got his chip, man. He got his NBA cup. He got his chip. He's in history books for life. But the clock is ticking. If I had to pick between Tyler and Deuce, I would prefer Tyler, just because, as I said, McBride on ball is not the greatest, and he's an undersized small forward. But either way, if either one of them needs to be packed up to get better, we packing them bags, bruh.
Pack them bags.
Yes, it's
bags.
Quick. And then I got a question for you about Karl Anthony Towns, because we had the conversation where I asked yesterday if we can afford to lose Karl Anthony Towns. And I think we all believe Karl Anthony Towns is not leaving the Knicks. He's going to be a Knick till he's done. But let's say he decides, I want to be respected by pay, so I want you to give me the max, or I want to talk to somebody else. You are Karl Anthony Towns. Okay,
you're gonna be like Shaq.
Right. You're Karl Anthony Towns' agent. I'm another team, right? Or I'm the Knicks, or I'm another team. Convince me that the market is not going to Jalen Duren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, convince me that the market is not going to Jalen Duren, Karl Anthony Towns.
Right,
like,
Jalen Duren. Facts.
Right.
And also, like, that's why I keep saying too, like, the situation was not a perfect match.
Right.
I was just sharing at the show, like, even Shaq wish he would have sacrificed.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying.
And you're Towns, so.
Right. You're completely right. I get exactly what you're saying. I'm just thinking from the perspective of Karl Anthony Towns' agent, trying to look at the market, like, where is Karl Anthony Towns going to go that's better than this?
I agree. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There may not be a market there. So you got to take this money. Because honestly, like you said, the Knicks might give him the most money that's there.
Right. You know what I mean?
And so if you leave, that money is gone. That offer won't be there.
For real though. And you got a good situation. You're back home. You won a championship. You already know what it is. Don't risk it. Hopefully we don't play him too much. But stay with the squad, bruh. But hey, Kolick.
Stick with the squad.
Thanks for listening to the show, Kolick. If it's time, it's time, buddy. We'll holler. It is what it is.
Thank you, D. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
All right. Okay, I feel like D kind of he leaned more into his Phil Jackson persona because he's the self-proclaimed Phil Jackson on this channel, right? He don't give a damn. He gonna say how he feel, whether you agree with him or not. Yeah, and he's Mr. Triggered himself. So if he did trigger you, you could always call up to talk about him. I asked a question about Gerson Rosas. Are y'all concerned about him? I'm not gonna say I'm concerned, like, oh no, what are we gonna do? But I am a little rather I say it like this. I think that he could help somebody become an op to us, you know, whether or not they'll see us in the championship, I don't know. But I think Gerson he definitely can help some people out. Like, what if Gerson goes to, I don't know, Cleveland, right? Gerson goes to Cleveland to help Cleveland out because they clearly don't know what the hell they doing. First off, see, I understand a lot of the politics of the business of basketball. So when I read certain things, I understand it from a business perspective. So like when I see these reports come out, it's very silly. Oh, the Cavs are working on a sign and trade for Peyton Watson. Unless they're going to say goodbye to James Harden or Allen or somebody like that, there's no way that will happen. Because you're instantly, if you do a sign and trade where you receive a player, you become hard cap at the first apron. See, you got to understand these little nuances and rules to really get what the hell is going on half the time. Because if you don't understand the nuances and the rules, you're going to be lost in the matrix. That's just a fact. But we'll see what happens on that front. But Gerson Rosas, do y'all think that he will become, a threat? Will he go to another team and help conspire against us? Because he's not done. He's not retiring. He's only 48 years old. He's a young guy. This guy, he's very impressive. He was the vice president when he was in his 30s. You know, like he's been around for a long time, having high positions in organizations. And if you don't know, he was in the third highest position when he was with the Knicks. So, and we talked about, I got a video breaking down the whole Gerson topic, but I'm just curious to know, what do you guys think about Gerson? Where will he go? I'm going to give us a positive article, right? And by the way, that Towns, Knicks not going all in, that is honestly a positive article. The fact that they're talking, I feel confident that they will get a deal done. I'm not saying Cat will be traded. I think that that's the last resort. Like it becomes just nasty and we can't work together. But I think Towns, I just think that these guys have a great relationship. There's no way I see them messing it up. And I think 30% is probably more money than he will get anywhere else at this phase in his career. I don't know if any other team would give him 35%. Maybe they would. And then your best bet, if you are trading him, is to get a guy like Apollo, that's not a guarantee. Like trading Towns would be a really bad scenario because you're not going to get better from the trade. There's no scenario where you trade Towns and you get better. You just become, more flexible. And now you're able to, navigate the financial aspect of it. But I think Towns will get it. He's going to sign a deal. But I got another article I want to talk about. And it's another big guy. Because since you guys love centers and, some of you are still obsessed with Mitchell Robinson, you got to knock it off. But have the Knicks' patience paid off? We're taking our time. We're navigating the terrain. We didn't jump to fill that last spot, even though you can sign 20 players, right? Going into training camp. So feel free to jump in and bring guys in. You have the space. You have the room to do so. And every contract at this point will be non-guaranteed unless you're maybe a DeMar DeRozan. I don't see DeMar getting a contract that's not guaranteed. I think he's just too talented for that. But most of these other guys, whatever deal you see signed today, it's a non-guaranteed contract, like the Denver Nuggets. So the Denver Nuggets right now, they signed, what's the kid? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. They signed somebody, a guard, right? Now, remember, none of the contracts is guaranteed, and you have time to shave down your roster, so you can get away with being above the second apron and all of that. That's not good. It's not going to really hurt you. You just got to make sure you get under the second apron before the season starts, because if you don't, oh boy, you're gonna be stuck. All right. Clippers. Clippers is in the Peyton Watson sign and trade business. They signed Lonnie Walker to a 1-year deal. That's not guaranteed. It's Exhibit 9 contract. All right. So that's where we are right now. So more than likely, we need to we're gonna sign somebody who is an option, right? At this point in time, unless you get somebody in the buyout market, which is still a very viable market that we can look to go get talent. But I want to share this with you guys, and this is another name amongst the other names that are intriguing right now that are left for the Knicks to entertain as a third string center. All right. So Knicks patience at center likely already looks like it could pay off. Okay. A lot of names have come across the Knicks table this season as they search for a center. One who would likely draw some consideration is Mekhi Porter. How do you guys, or Potter, Mekhi Potter. He played with the Pacers. If you don't know who Mekhi Potter is, I'm going to go to Basketball Reference so we could look at some of his numbers. We actually saw him. He played against us. I'm not sure if y'all remember that, but Mekhi Potter, we're going to break down who he is and what he's about. So he's a 6'9" center power forward. He's a two-way. He's a tweener. And the biggest thing about him is he can shoot the three ball. Last season, he shot 42% from three in 47 games. In his overall career, he's shooting 38.9%. All right. And chances are this guy may be available. Now, defensively, I wouldn't say he's a staunch defender. He's not the greatest rebounder either, but he can shoot the hell out of the three ball, and he's 6'9". I wouldn't mind signing him because you can always still do a Diabate trade. So you could sign him and then do a Diabate trade, right? Like you may not get the center in free agency. You might get a guy like this who's 6'9" and can shoot threes. All right. However, Potter was subject to waivers before New York could add him to its roster. And this was last season. All right. This was on July 8th. Right. And so now the Trailblazers decided to claim the big man. Right. But here's the thing. Will he actually make the team? All right. Will he make the team? Right. So, and like I said, he shot well from the field, very well from the field during last season. All right. So Leon Rose may be in luck, right? As insider Jake Fisher is reporting that the Blazers are bringing up competition to challenge Potter. So like there's still, even though we missed out on him, there's still a chance we can get him because Potter is on a non-guaranteed contract for one of the final roster spots. In fact, the process began earlier this week as Portland signed ex-Knick Jeremy Sohan. Okay, so hold on. All right, gotta play my suspense. Jeremy Sohan. So could it be that Jeremy Sohan could help us get another big guy in exchange for not bringing him back? All right, I was trying to say that for dramatic effect. I might have dropped the ball on the dramatic effect, but it's okay. This creates a significant optimism that the Knicks will be able to add quality center help in the next coming weeks as we're waiting and seeing where the chips fall with preseason now. He now look like a truly viable path. So basically what Leon is doing, and we could go with 13 guys all the way into in the training camp. Like seriously, we could go with 13 guys in the training camp. Not to say that we would do that. More than likely, you're going to bring in some two-ways at least. Or you could just bring in a whole bunch of non-guaranteed guys who don't have a prayer chance in hell of making the team just for the optics. And then wait for a guy like Mekhi to fall right into your laps. But that's Mekhi Potter. How do you guys feel about him? All right. New York Knicks' lack of noise in the front court since signing Drummond has certainly generated some anxiety. Tell me about it. I'm surprised they didn't start the article with sorry-ass Mitchell Robinson, who's in the Boston Celtics singing them sad-ass songs with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum. They singing them sad-ass Boston Celtics songs, though. I'm tired of hearing about, oh, what are we going to do? Mitch left. Oh, no. Oh, man. We're in trouble. We're doomed. Oh, man, we have no options. Oh, man, Mitch was the best center ever. Man, but what are we going to do to replace him, really? Like, Leon hasn't done nothing yet. Leon is cooking. All right? Leon is cooking. Sometimes you got to fall back and analyze the world from a different place, in a different perspective, before you make your first move. Even though technically it won't be his first move, but your next move. All right. Now, have a powder. Hold on, no, I'm right here. New York's lack of noise in the front court, right? We talked about that. Trades seem impossible right now for the defending champions, while the free agent market is basically barren. The team's long shot attempt at signing Musa Cisse also predictably failed. I mean, I think that was just a chess move. But this has made us wonder if the Knicks would rather go into preseason without anyone signed, which is something they could do. This way, they could not only keep the trade dream alive, but also potentially scoop a big who gets cut. Because these guys, there's no telling when they'll get cut. So you want to be able to get them and bring them in right after they get cut. You feel me? So, yeah, Potter is inching closer to an exit with the Trailblazers. Only speaks to being a savvy strategy. So what do you guys think about Mekhi Potter? Call up. Let me know. That's 646-995-8389. If I miss your call, I will call back. By the way, we got to continue getting the likes up. All right? We got to continue getting the likes up. It's very important to the YouTube algorithm. We got to let them know that this is the place to be. And we're still cooking with hot grease. And by the way, continue to subscribe to the channel, all right? Because half of you guys who watch are not subscribed in the last 28 days. Help us close the gap. We do have special subscriber milestones and giveaways. The only way to be a part of it is to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications. All right? Salute to my man D in LA. Ooh, he said Isaiah Collier made me demand more from Kolek. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. If I could get Isaiah Collier, I'm trading Deuce and anybody. I think Isaiah Collier is so nice. Man, it's like these teams got so, like, it's just so much talent out there, bro. I think I put Collier in my players to watch, even though I already knew who the hell he was. Usually my players to watch section in the 82 nights. All right, this comes with a player to watch section, right? So usually I put players in there that I don't know, you know, not players that I heard of before, unless like they're rookies. You know, you might have heard of a rookie, but still, you know, you still would add them to the players to watch. But you know, sometimes players come out of nowhere. You know, some dude who was in the G League for the last 3 years. If you don't watch G League basketball, which I don't, salute to my man Mellow Mike. He's the Westchester Knicks correspondent for us. But yo, D from LA, man, you're on to something with Isaiah Collier, man. He's just nice, bro. He could do it all. He's the perfect point guard. Buckets, pick and roll, plays a little defense. I wish we could get him. It's a whole nother topic. Utah got a lot of talent, but the question mark for Utah is, will they be able to put it together? You know, because the talent, yeah, that's great. It's great to have talent, but how will it all come together? That's going to be the mystery. Once again, 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. Get my man Randall on the line. See what he wants to talk about. Oh, yeah, that's a good name. What's good, Randall? Nothing much, man. We just having a realistic conversation based on James L. Edwards. He says that the Knicks will offer Cat an extension, which is good news. but he's uncertain of the discount. Where you want to go? Do you want to discuss that or any of our other topics? Because we got a whole bunch.
No, we can talk about Cat.
Let's go. What's your thoughts on the current Cat situation? You think he gonna give us that discount?
I'm hoping, but the problem is, I mean, I hope he does take a cut or something, because we can't give him Cat a max extension. Because we give Cat a max extension, we have to pay some people or a person.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it more than likely would be him to go in the trade. That's why I played the Shaq soundbite. Like, they traded Shaq. Yeah, because he wouldn't take less money. And that was Shaq. We all know who Shaq was.
Yeah.
He won 3 championships. Not 1.
Yeah.
3. And was the final MVP. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, if they decided they want to give Cat a max extension, then I feel, yeah, they would definitely have to make some trades if they was gonna give Cat a max extension. But I hope they don't. I hope Cat is willing to take less money.
That's a fact. That's an ultimate fact. Ultimate. I'm with you 100,000%. And I think that will be the likely alternative. You know, it's just that what makes it a little interesting is that James L. Edwards has the scoop, but he doesn't know if Cat would take the discount. Does that mean that there's some trouble with the negotiations? I don't know. That's a mystery to me. But any other thoughts on this topic?
I was just thinking, if Cat was to say he wanted the max extension, what would be the game plan after that? Now, let's say the Knicks felt they might want to give it to him. Now, if that was the case, then that means somebody else will be gone.
Yes. And if I give you a hint, he probably went to Villanova University.
Talking about Josh Hart.
I mean, he's the only easy one to move because he has a team option. Those contracts are very, very attractive to the market.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
So there's a lot of dominoes here.
Yeah.
You know, but Josh Hart could save himself by taking less money too. Pulling a Draymond Green, essentially, or Udonis Haslem.
He would have to take a whole lot less money.
Yes. Yes. We're talking about 8 million. Like, if Hart takes 8 million less, that would be a huge help. It still would make it a little tight and hard to improve, but you could come back with the same team for that 1 year. That 1 year. Because the year after that, oh boy, that's when it gets interesting. But I appreciate you, Randall. Great call.
Anytime, man.
All right.
Salute.
Salute. Once again, y'all, 646-995-8389. If you want to talk, we have an objective, level-headed Knicks talk over here. We don't do the super duper nicked out, everything is good in the neighborhood talk. This is business, and I love discussing the business side sometimes, even though I hate the business of basketball. But I just like understanding it because now I see the bigger picture as to why things are done, right? It's mostly not personal. It's mostly always going to be business. As Shaq discussed, think about it. You trade the 3-time finals MVP in a row because he wouldn't take less money. See, that is the reality of the circumstance of, okay, to sacrifice or to not sacrifice. Another thing too, you know, Shaq was getting closer to the end of his prime. So usually when you're getting in that phase and you're on a dynasty like the Spurs or, you know, a team that's really good, you should take less money if you want to sustain the younger guys around you, because what could happen is you start bringing in young guys. Now you got to move them because we can't pay the young guys because you're taking up all the money. You know, I do got more topics. I want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Now, we all know that the Atlanta Hawks, like the rest of the Eastern Conference, they don't like us. And the Hawks are definitely determined to improve their team. You can argue the Hawks are probably having a top 3 offseason out of all the teams in the East. Maybe you put Philly up there, Hawks, I don't know, Miami because of Giannis, but I don't think Miami's all the way there. But, you know, they're having a really good offseason. I like a lot of the moves from Lou Dort to Joe. What else they got? I think they drafted some players as well. So the Hawks are definitely looking to build a team to try to counter us. Everyone's talking about Philly, but you got to look out for Indiana. You got to look out for Atlanta. And I'm also saying if they're healthy and this coach is legit, you got to watch the Magic. Those are the 3 teams right there that I feel potentially could be the most undercover or underrated, dangerous teams in the Eastern Conference that no one is really considering like that. And so I got an article here I want to share with you guys talking about the Hawks prioritizing toughness. The Hawks are prioritizing toughness because they felt like the Knicks, we punked them last season. So in response to us punking them, they're trying to get some guys to help them man up. How can we forget? By the way, this is the Atlanta Hawks website, Soaring Down South. I go everywhere to get the content, dog. The Atlanta Hawks, we embarrassed them. The greatest deficit in NBA history, 61 points, was us against the Atlanta Hawks. One of the most embarrassing defeats in playoff history was us giving it to the Atlanta Hawks. So them, like Philly, are among the teams that are the most aggressive, the ones who face the wrath of the New York Knicks, the terror. They don't want to experience that again, so they're opting to go and become a more complete team. Hawks entered the 26th postseason as the hottest team in the NBA. So when they try to say, oh, you didn't play no competition. Remember when they said that? Oh, you didn't play no competition. But the Hawks, and coming into the playoffs, you could read all the articles. Knicks got the shortest end of the stick jaw. Oh, man, they got the toughest team. Toronto, the Knicks should have had Toronto, who wound up taking Cleveland to 7. And, oh, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter who we would have played. We would have dusted any one of them off. We are the team of destiny. And I keep talking about that. The 25-26 champs. We're not going to let them forget. We're going to remind them every single day. We are the champs. God damn it. But look. They were one of the hottest teams, 21-9 in the last 30 games. However, they were embarrassed, like I just said. And to their credit, well, at least we are the only team to get 2 wins against the world champion Knicks, and they're marveling at that. But the reality is it was 2 games by 1 point apiece. So how much credit do you want for that? I mean, where are we going? All right. Now, here is the key to the Atlanta Hawks offseason. Let me zoom in a little bit because I feel like it's a little zoomed out. All right. Hopefully that's a lot better. Zoom in a little bit more. Perfect. Fills the screen great. So one of the biggest problems in the playoffs was the Knicks out-muscling Atlanta. They were simply the bigger, stronger team. But the Hawks already made 2 moves this summer to fix the issue for short term and for the long term. They trying to come for us. The Atlanta Hawks We're not ducking the fade. Lou Dort trade makes the Hawks stronger and more physical. Atlanta traded Zachary Ricochet. I wish we could have got him. I like Ricochet, man. Ricochet has so much talent. I just felt like the Hawks just didn't know how to use him. And he plays defense. He's one of them 6'9" French dudes. Anyway, whatever. I wish we could trade Ricochet for Pacone, but that's not going to happen. So Ricochet fell out of the rotation, and then Atlanta traded Ricochet for Dort and Nembhard. This is Andrew Nembhard's little brother. All right. Dort undeniably brings grit, toughness, aggressive defense, and a championship mentality for the Hawks. So what they said is, we already got Dyson Daniels to guard Brunson, even though he's a Brunson, he's food. But now we're going to get the hack, Lou Dort, to also guard Brunson off the bench, because I think Dort will come off the bench. I don't see the Hawks tinkering with their starting lineup. Okongwu, Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Walker, McCollum. So I think Dort's coming off the bench. But anyway, nonetheless, 6'4", but he's strong. He can match up with wings and guards, right? Jalen Johnson struggled to keep OG out of the paint. Yeah, that was nasty work. OG was just, oh man, he was cooking them boys. Backdoor cuts and all of that. So Dort, he's a defender, right? He's somebody that's all NBA defensive team multiple times. So adding him, honestly, is a really good addition. And he can shoot threes as well. So that's the danger of Dort. You also get Zuby Ejiofor, all right, who helped the Atlanta Hawks. All right, well, who could help the Atlanta Hawks. He's the rookie from St. John's University. Some of us wanted him as well. But he gives them some size at the power forward spot, right? They also got the Asa Newell kid and Mohamed Guy, right? Even though Guy is a lightweight. And he could be hurt as well. But, Ejiofor gives them somebody who's aggressive. He has a good defensive motor. 22 years old, all right? And he's somebody who can help bring some physicality that the Hawks lacked last season, being that they were more of a finesse team, right? I thought Kuminga brought some physicality, but, apparently they want to move on from Kuminga as they actively try to sign and trade him to the Lakers, but there's a discrepancy with the bread, the moolah, the cash. Anyway, what do you guys think about the Hawks? They're prioritizing toughness and physicality to deal with the grind of facing the New York Knicks in a 7-game series. Are you concerned about the Hawks? 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. We talked about Big Bodega Cat, if you want to call up to talk about him. The truth in the matter is the Knicks are not all in on Cat in terms of giving him the super duper max. James L. Everett says that they will be talking. They will offer him a contract, but will he give the Knicks a cash discount? That is the mystery. All right. That is where we are at the moment. What will the Knicks do? Call up 646-995-8389 so we can talk about it. I'm going to take a peek in the live chat. I know y'all probably going crazy in there. What is Leon going to do? I also talked about Tyler Nickel as well. I gave my Tyler Nickel theory. Hey, like Maxine said, once again, I see the super producer working hard. This is a super producer Maxine production. All right. Salute to you. What's good, Al Figgy? I see you in the chat. Great merge call last night with you and my man Fritz from the NBA Economy. All right. Hold on, who is this? We got the Objective Troll. We got the Objective. Hey, hold on. Have I came up in the world to get an Objective Troll? All right. Salute to you. As long as you're not being disrespectful, we won't have to get you the hell up out of here. Okay. But if you are, we will get you out of there. Salute to Zach. I do appreciate you. All right. Oh man, we got the mods on deck. They ain't going for nothing. What's good, J-Tap? I don't know. It's Lou. I don't know. I mean, what is Lou? I don't know. I'll pull him up for you, J-Tap, because you my man. All right. Continue to smash that like button. I'll pull up to see where he's from. I know it's called, his name is Lou Dort, you know? Let's pull him up. Let me see. You got a wiki page? Oh, remember, look, he's Canadian. So, you know, remember, they do things differently over there. They got French people and all that stuff. So, yeah, his name is Lugens Dort. Yeah, Lugens or something like that. Hopefully I said it right. Yeah, he's Canadian, dog, so he's a little different. I do think that he is dirty. I do think that he is dirty. Dirty player, boy. I don't like Lou Dort because I think he does antics on purpose. And if it's not on purpose, it's due to bad habits. By the way, salute to my man Mellow Mike in the chat as well. That's the Westchester Knicks correspondent. What's going on with Tyler Nickel, y'all? Like, you know, I know I gave my theory on Tyler. I should drop that as a clip. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's very quiet right now. You know, I'm on Twitter and nobody's really saying nothing about him. You know? So I don't know what's going on with Tyler Nickel right now. Outside of what I said, I think that Tyler Nickel is he's working to go back to college, but I think he's working in cahoots with the Knicks. Not cahoots. I don't want to use that word. I want to use that they're collaborating, because cahoots make it seem like it's foul play. Yeah, but yeah, nothing substantial on Nickel. Everybody's asking about Nickel right now, but we'll see. I got my ears to the street and my eyes glued to the screen. All right. I do have another topic I could get to as well. This is a very interesting topic. All right. And it's my favorite topic. Even though I think the business of sports is corrupt or it's just nasty work and grimy, right? If it's not corrupt, it's grimy, right? It's borderline. How would you say it? It's not ethical all the time, or it's not. Whatever. Anyway, it's kind of shady a little bit, but it may not be illegal. Anyway, not the Atlanta Hawks, but Dillon Brooks, I'm not sure if you guys know. He signed a deal, and I want to pull his deal up really quickly just so we could get the exact numbers and particulars, because one thing I don't do is just freestyle on this channel, right? So this is the numbers on Dillon Brooks' contract. All right, he's getting 13.39% of the cap, and I think that was for $75 million total. All right. So hold on. Let me see if I get the exact amount. My fault, y'all. This popped out. Hold on. Let me go to Sports Track so I can get you the exact amount. And he's with the Phoenix Suns. I think it was $75 million, but the 13% of the cap is what I want to talk about. All right. Now, right. Yeah. So about $75 million, like I thought. All right. So, you know, this is the estimate. All right. Nonetheless, that's about 13% of the cap. So this is the contract that the brother's getting. Right. Now we have to ask ourselves a question, because I'm looking at Dillon Brooks as the benchmark. So my question is Josh Hart contract-wise more valuable than Dillon Brooks? Like, could Josh Hart go demand this same amount of money? Because if Josh Hart can get this type of money, the next question becomes, does Josh Hart sacrifice? Is he looking at Dillon Brooks like, well, damn, I could go get 13% of the cap. Right now, I think Josh Hart's 12. Hold on, let me just fact check, because once again, we don't do no freestyling like that. I just go straight to research mode and pull it up every single time. So right now, Josh Hart, 12. Okay, I was right. I'm on the money, but 12.6. All right. Does Josh Hart say, well, if Dylan Brooks is getting 13, can I at least get my 12? How does Dylan Brooks extension, how does that impact Josh Hart? It's a mystery. It's something that to think about because Josh Hart already sacrificed for the Knicks. I'm not sure if I could show y'all it. I can't because they want me to be a premium subscriber. Ah, boy. I just don't want to subscribe to nothing else. I got too many damn subscriptions. I think the final year of this deal was 12. Was it 12 something? 12.9 or something like that. I really wanted to see the percentage of the cap. That's what I wanted to see, but it's fine. Nonetheless, he took the final year instead of opting out of that 12 million and starting this 18 million. He kept the 12 million, so he took about a $6 to $7 million pay cut that year when he kept his option to help the Knicks maintain their flexibility, which I think led to the Dante DiVincenzo signing. We had more space to sign Dante. Had Josh Hart took the extra 6, I think we would have went into the cap. Hold on. I'm going to tell you what it was right now with the whole job. I'm going to tell you what the Dante, what it was. I'll tell you right now. Oh, and I forgot. I could have just did this. This would have been a simple way to see it. All right. So yeah, that was 9% of the cap. All right. So he went from 9 to 12. Do you ask him to go back down to what, 11, 10? I don't know. But this is going to be a benchmark for Josh Hart. By the way, you see Dante 10 million. It allowed us to stay under the apron because I think we was hard capped at the apron too. Yeah, we were. We were hard capped under the first apron. So Josh Hart, his sacrifice helped us be able to operate under the first apron while bringing in a Dante DiVincenzo, for the record. All right. And then Dante, damn, I don't think I could. Oh, yeah, I could see it. This was his extension, if you didn't know. But whatever. That's irrelevant at the moment. So what are we asking for Josh Hart? Will Josh Hart have to go back to this number, which is 9.5% the cap, right? It may be a little bit more than that, but the point, I'm going by percentages. That's how I get to the right numbers. I go by the percentage of the cap for that year. Hopefully that makes sense. But continue smashing that like button. Will Josh Hart's contract be impacted? Salute to Maxine, the super producer. I see you up in there producing. Is the objective troll behaving himself? Now we got objective troll. I didn't know trolls could be objective. I think I did have a phone call. Uh-oh. I got Angie. She's always cooking with hot grease. I'm curious to see where she wants to go today.
Karan, what's going on, sir?
Nothing much, Angie. It's hot as hell in New York. I'm pretty sure it's hot as hell down where you are too.
Oh no, we got a little thunderstorm coming through here.
What?
Oh yeah, but it's been hot. It's been hot. It's you know, that's why it's thunderstorming. But
Gotcha.
you know, the sun be out in a minute.
So where you want to go?
All right, I want to start with Cat. You know, that seemed to be the hot topic, you know, everywhere. But, you know, this is what I believe, Karan, is that Rose did not entertain Giannis for a particular reason. And I believe it's because, you know, if we remember, Cat made it known during the season when we were, you know, everybody was basically on that Giannis train, and Giannis was saying he wanted to come to the Knicks. Cat made it known then that he would take less, you know, because I thought it was interesting, you know, at the timing that he said it. And I think with him having, you know, above average playoff series, you know, I think that's when Rose decided to not even entertain Giannis. So to me, the delay right now is it's not that he's not going to take less. The question is how much, right? And so, like you've been saying, it's like I think that's where, we're at right now. It's just trying to figure out, how much.
My only slight pushback is I don't think Towns ever said less. I think what he said was he wants to be a Knick for life. I don't think he ever said he would take a discount. I mean, we can stat check that, but I don't remember him saying I'm gonna take less.
If somebody, I don't know if it was Ian Begley or somebody, because I remember saying that's very interesting. Because I remember saying, that's his counter to Giannis saying, I want to be a Knick, because one thing he do know is Giannis is not getting off of his bag. Giannis not doing that.
Of course.
Right. So I always thought like, oh, that was a good counter, Cat. And so I mean, even let's say he didn't say that. For me, the only reason Rose did not entertain Giannis at all, because I believe that conversation had already happened between Rose and his camp, right? And so that's why we aggressively, just walked away from Giannis. And so you're right. I think that, based on how much he takes in the reduction. I believe if anybody has to go in the starting lineup, let's say they had to sacrifice someone, I believe it would be Mikal, not Josh. I really don't believe Josh is not going anywhere. I think Josh has already made a sacrifice. Josh is someone who plays through injuries, broken finger, limping. Him and Brunson are just built like the 90s, like, old school. And they're really the fabric. I just don't see Josh, leave. And the thing is, Mikal's on a good deal now, 150 for 4, and he's just going to start the deal, this upcoming season. And so, that's just kind of. I'm just waiting to see what Rose is doing, because we definitely need an impact player on that bench. We need someone that can come off that bench, be an impact player, as well as play with the starting 5. Like a DeMar. Right now I'm just waiting to see, what he's cooking up. And as far as Nichols, I think I made it known when I was watching the summer league. This kid caught my eye. Me personally, I don't feel he's a two-way player. He brings a particular he brings a particular skill set that Dottier doesn't have, that sometimes deuces off. And the size that he has, and and on the defensive end, he's 6'8". We've been talking about, getting players on the bench that's 6, that have some size. So he's a sharp shooter, right? I mean, if we can figure out a way, to me, he's an upgrade from Dottier. He's even a safety. He's a safety net for Deuce and Shamet. If they're off, because we have games where they're both been off, remember? And then he has to go with Alvarado longer than he wants to go with it. And he's going to be on a rookie deal. So I think he works mathematically, as well as he brings, again, what we need. One thing we know his skill set is shooting. Dottier, I don't know what he does well. He's been here 3 years. I can't tell you one thing he does well other than people talking about his measurements and that he's 20, and that he's 20 years old. Nothing else. For 3 years, I can't figure out what he does well. So why would I put this kid on a two-way and I got Dottier sitting there making almost $4 million? That makes no sense.
Good point. Hey, Angie, I appreciate the call. I think Cat's going to take less. I don't know how much less, but we're going to find out.
Oh, yeah, we're going to find out. He going to do the right thing. He going to do the right thing. I really believe that. All right.
Big time salute, Angie.
All right, you be good. Bye.
Hey, salute to Angie. Like she said, definitely smash the likes, because Maxine said we were 2 from 100. We might be at 100 now, but if you didn't smash it anyway. Yeah, as far as the Cat, I don't remember. Trust me, I'm the king of news. Every single news article that comes out, not rumor, opinion pieces. No, I'm talking about news, does not get by me. I spend, I don't know, a lot of money on news. Yeah, on news. It's not getting by me. The only thing I remember Cat saying was, it was reported that he was disappointed he didn't get the extension. He never said that out of his mouth. Also, he said he wants to be a Knick for life, and he's ready to negotiate. Right now, when he said that, keep in mind, when he said that he would sign, that was during the season. In the offseason, that's the only window for super duper max veteran extensions. It's the only window. It's the only time they could be signed. Mostly any other max could be signed anytime, but those maxes can only be done during those designated windows throughout the offseason. I'm not sure why. Maybe it has something to do with it, the contract being so large, it'll impact the team's moves. I don't know. I'm just telling you, that's just NBA rules. Now, if he were to say that, it would have came out in this article, because believe it or not, this is Basket News. I think they got it from Hoops Rumors. Or was it just Basket News and they just cited James L? Usually they would cite that as the source. But the point of contention or the lack of knowledge here comes from whether he would take the discount. So we would have had that source. Or at least I would have had that. So I can't speak for other journalists. Even though I don't really consider myself a full-fledged journalist, I say that I'm a fan moonlighting as a journalist. I did take journalism classes, but I don't, that's not my official title. But yeah, I don't know about that. Him saying that he would take less money. I'm peeking in the chat. By the way, that interview, he said that on the Shannon Sharp interview that he would have to have a conversation. He never said he was taking less money. He did not take less money with the Timberwolves. He signed for the 35% max. Towns has never taken. So you could say whatever you want. The extension that Towns signed in Minnesota was a 35% max. He did not take less money in Minnesota. So, and whatever he said in Minnesota, that has nothing to do with the Knicks. All right. What he has done in Minnesota has nothing to do with the Knicks. But I played that Shaq clip for a reason. The Shaq clip hopefully gives you perspective of where we are. All right. 646-995-8389. All right. Let me keep it pushing. I got my man Ron in the building. If you want to talk some more, I'm here. I'm here to talk.
Hey.
What's going on, Ron? I see you in the queue. How you feeling, family?
Okay. How you doing, Karan?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just trying to figure out the mysteries of the Knicks piece by piece. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. I just listened to Angie, and
yes.
I'll probably admit she probably knows more than I do. So if she's listening, I'm going to start out with that part. So it's not putting her down. But
no.
I don't think that Nikola is 6'8". I think that he is more. I think he was more like 6'6", and maybe, with shoes or whatever, 6'7", 6'6.5" to 6'7", something like that. So, that aside, and as far as Dadier goes, when she was saying it doesn't really make sense, they're paying him almost $4 million. Yeah, she's right. It doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is because they're not going. No other team is going to want to pay Dadier $4 million. I mean, just because the guy was a first-round draft pick doesn't automatically mean he's got this great potential. And there's a lot of guys that fall through the NBA that are first rounder. So I don't think they can get rid of Dadier. And I thought I heard that if they did, they might have to throw in a 2.
Yeah.
In order to get off just that $4 million.
That's a fact.
And as far as Cat goes, I think that I think at the end, well, let me clarify this because then I'll get off the air. I think Angie was saying one thing, you were saying the other in terms of, not hearing what she heard.
Yeah, the sacrifice.
I'm kind of in the middle because I thought I heard, and this is directly in the middle. I think what I heard was that he was saying in a clip that he would take less, but he also clarified what less meant. And I think what less meant was, I think he said a little less. So that kind of puts me in no man's land. But I think he did say he would take a little less. as far as his contract goes. I'm not going to swear to it, but that's my understanding of what that clip showed.
Was this on Shannon Sharp show?
No. This was either. Well, I don't want to plug somebody else on your show, but I think it was KFTV, or maybe through some Nick Film School and Ian Begley or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it was an actual clip of him, and unless it was doctored by somebody, he did come out and say that he would take a little less on the contract in order to keep this ball rolling and to continue to, for them to be competitive and all that. Okay. So I guess that my personal opinion is I think he will take a little less, and that's that. But Dadier, even to get rid of Dadier, you see, if they cut Dadier, just flat out cut him, would they create close to $4 million in their cap?
No, because his salary is guaranteed, so you could waive and stretch it, and that'll go into the net. You divide the $4 million and put it on the next 3 years. That would be an option. But these contracts are guaranteed. It's not like football where you cut somebody and they may have a partial guarantee, but yeah, you can't cut NBA players without paying them. So
I think
it still would count to the books.
The rumor that I heard was that they might have to include Dadier in any other move that they're making.
Bingo. That's why I said earlier about the Diabate trade. I would do Kolek and Pacome and give them like 4 second-round picks. But that's just me, though. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but I would throw Dadier in that trade.
I would do that.
Was just me. Yeah.
I would do that. I think Dadier. I think that Diabate is worth that. Of course, they have to have a plan for signing him after the year's over. I wouldn't want him just for 1 year.
Right.
And, he's a great player. Yeah, he gets a lot of fights. Have you seen the fights that he's gotten into?
Yeah. Durant didn't want to fight him. I saw that.
Yeah, he's a pretty emotional guy, but that's what New York is all about.
You need that. Yeah,
okay, I'll let you go. I know you got other calls. Okay, take care.
You. All right. By the way, I peeked into the live chat. Yeah, I know he said the amount was wrong, but you can't be a stickler for everything. It is $2.9 million for Dadier, but next year he could get paid $5 million. Hey, and you know what? That's salute to Brock Aller. Really quickly, I'm gonna get right back to the phone line, but I want to show y'all something because I just be on here playing around all day. I ain't gonna lie. Let me show you something. So let me show you why Brock Aller is a genius, right? So look at the contract. The first 3 years, look at that. 1.8, 2.8, 2.9, 5.3. They pretty much put the weight of the salary towards the back end. The first couple of years were 1.29, 1.84%. You see that? Then it jumps up to 3. But when it jumps up to 3, it's a team option. You don't have to sign him. So when I'm talking about trading Pacome Dadier, and yes, to the person in the chat, I don't remember who it was who said he makes the 2.9. I know that. Sometimes you just, listen, I don't want to just correct everything a person says on the phone, because that, that'd be annoying. Would y'all like it if I just said, no, that's not right. Nope, that's wrong. No, that's, sometimes you just got to let people talk because it could just be an honest mistake, right? We know it's 2.9. But the better, the real point that I'm trying to share with you guys and why Pacome Dadier's contract is so valuable is because of this team option. You don't have to give him the $5 million. And you might get a second round, like the brothers just said. You might have to give up a second just to come off of his contract. I'm pretty sure there'll be teams lining up for this because you will want to free up that salary and get a second round pick. There's value in trading Pacome. Believe it or not, Pacome has a little value. This is valuable to teams. Especially a team like a Denver, right? For example, I'm not saying we traded with them, relax. I'm not saying we're doing a deal. But Denver would love this contract because Denver they're trying to convince Jokic to stay. So if I could get this $5 million back next year and give up something who I don't want now and get a second round pick, it's a win-win. But I just wanted to share that Pacome Dadier, people snoozing at Pacome Dadier's value. there is value to that contract for business and technical reasons. Only because of business and technical reasons, right? That's just the business of the game. 646-995-8389 if you want to talk. Salute to the chat. Continue smashing that like button as well. By the way, if you did just join the show, we talked about Cat as well. If you want to talk about it, call up 646-995-8389. What's good, Sean? We in the building, man.
Yes, sir. What's good, Karan? Salute to the chat. What's going on, gang?
Hey, man, we got an update that the Knicks are going to offer Cat the contract, but we don't know, will he sacrifice?
Okay, so, I'm going to say the same thing I said yesterday. He will sacrifice the 5%. Cat wants to be here. I don't want to spooky in the woods thinking that we're going to lose Cat or Cat is going somewhere. I feel like that is his plan. And I'm going to say this. Without Cat, we're not going to win again. So we need to keep him. that's just the bottom line.
So now you create a quagmire. So let's say he doesn't bend on the 30%. He won 35. You just said you can't win without him. That gives him leverage.
Yes, it does give him leverage. And
so you give him the 35?
I don't want to give him the 35. And I'm not saying he don't deserve it. But Cat has to understand, if he wants to keep this thing rolling, if he wants to keep this team together, he's going to have to make a little sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying everybody is like Jalen Brunson. I'm not saying everybody has that mentality. But if he has the winning mentality that he say he does in all the post-conference and interviews that he has done, he say he wants to win. He say he wants to stay in New York. That's what he has to sacrifice in order to keep this thing rolling. So I believe in his good heart. And like I said yesterday, you know, with his wife, has a ton of things in New York and everything. I just feel like that's what he's going to do. He's going to settle with, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying these guys, I don't know what's in this guy's pocket, but $35 million or $30 million or whatever we offer him, that's a lot of money, man. You already made what? He already made what, $260 million on his last contract or something like that?
He got the 35%, whatever it was. He definitely got it.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is you got something put up already. If you want to win again, which we will if we keep this band rolling, just give us a little wiggle room. That's all we asking for. I'm not saying we asking for a whole lot. Just give us a little wiggle room. And so that's what you know what I'm saying, I think. Also, you triggered me earlier, man, and I gotta say this, bro. That Shaq interview and his comparison to Cat, that was a little left. That was a little left. Shaq is greedy. Shaq didn't think about winning, because if him and Kobe would have stayed together, man, they could have won more championships than they won. I don't think Cat is like that. I think Cat is more of a team player. He's also has a brighter mind. And this one little sliver about Cat that I think is going to help him sign the contract that they do give him, his mom, when she first got to New York, she went to Knicks games. She was a fan of the Knicks, and you know how much Cat talk about his mom. So I believe down in his heart, that's what he's looking at, to, you know what I'm saying, give his mom some more, you know what I'm saying, enthusiasm and everything, look up in the sky and be like, hey, Mom, this is what I want to do, and et cetera, et cetera. Also, real quick, I just want to ask you this. What did Rosai really do for us? Like,
what did he do?
No. I'm asking, so you can inform me. That's why I'm asking, because I didn't know too much about Rosai.
He was a part of Towns for sure, because he and Towns had a great relationship.
Okay.
So that Towns deal, he was definitely a part of that. And
Heard that.
he was third in command. So it was Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and Gerson Rosas, three-headed monster.
So let me ask you this. Are you scared of him going to an op or going to another team and making an op? Because if we still have two of the three heads,
I don't think I said scared. That sounds too much like Spooky in the goddamn woods.
Okay, so are you every day?
What I'm saying is, you know, this brother goes to Cleveland and helps them actually make moves that make sense. You know, It could be something.
That would take a couple years though, right? That would take a couple years though, right?
Okay. I don't think it'd happen overnight, but I'm just, we have a conversation,
No, and I get it. So that's why I was asking. But as long as we still got them two, masterclass and the Don Rose and World Wide West and Brock Osler, sorry, Rosa, salute to you. Thank you for everything that you did, but I'm not worried. Until somebody prove to us and show us that they can beat us, that's all I'm looking at. We still got the best starting five in the NBA. So that's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm rolling into next year. Yes, sir. Salute to you, man. South Jamaica Queen signing out, man. Appreciate you, gang.
No doubt. I'm glad he answered that question because I was curious to see if some of y'all want to talk about it. But Gerson, he knows all the secrets, man. He was in the building. Will he take those, tricks and bring them somewhere else? And I'm thinking about a team like Cleveland who needs help because they're trying to do a trade for pay. First off, James Harden, man, I just have a feeling that it's going to end badly. I don't know why. I just feel like Cleveland is not going to make no splashes. They're just going to come back with the same team and sign Harden. And that would be a big time mistake if they decided to do that. What's good, Musa?
What's good?
Is this the right Musa, the New York Musa? Because the other Musa was trolling me, man. Yeah. I had to get rid of him.
I tried to call you yesterday. I don't know if you saw my call.
Great. No, you know what it was? It wasn't just you. It was a lot of people, and we had a lot of callbacks. So and the show was just getting too long, so I had to shut it down. But I got you now, my brother. Where
I want to talk about. Do some of those just talking about some trading currency towns? I was like, hell no. What do we do? What are we talking about, man? What are we doing, man?
Well, the thought is, Blue is different. Blue just wanted to trade Cat because he don't really like Cat like that. But I was saying, if you don't work out the deal, if there's a discrepancy over the money, that's all I'm saying. Hey, if Shaq got traded, why wouldn't Towns get traded? That's the thought process there.
Hypothetically, who would you want for Towns?
Nobody. I want to keep Towns, so they got to work out the deal.
Yeah, I hope they do because seen that report. We're like, whoa, hold on here. What are we doing?
Because it didn't work out for the Lakers when they traded Shaq. That's for damn sure. Did not work out for the Lakers. So, that's a loss. So right now, our best hope is that they come to a number that both sides can agree on. Whether it's the max or not. Whether if they give him the max, I'm not gonna be mad. It is what it is. That's his business, Yeah. But I need Cat here. That's my concern.
Need Cat here. Yeah, and then whatever. Some other dude yesterday, I forgot who was talking about some OG. I know we came with a ball handler. I said, hold on here. What are we saying? I said, this is too much.
OG running plays? OG
I said, hell no. OG being a hub is hold on. That's some tomatoes to me. I said.
Listen.
In my head, I was like, what is this guy saying, man? What are we doing?
Salute to the OG fans, but we got to understand that OG's success is based on the backs of Towns and Brunson. You can't
literally is, yeah.
He's not getting double teamed. He's a guy who gets a lot of touches because those guys give him the ball in favorable positions.
I think it was what's his name? I think it was Ty who was saying that, right? I think it was him talking about some
I don't think it was. Was it Ty or was it?
I think it was. Was it? I think it was, right? I think you called him back,
I can't remember. It was it was so many callbacks and this person said this and this. It was crazy last time.
I think it was him because he did do something about some OG being a ball handler. I said, hold on here.
Yeah.
Let's use our brains for a second.
Yeah, he's more, I would say OG's more of a receiver.
He's meant to be more off-ball played.
Yeah, he's like a wide receiver in football.
Yeah, he's meant to be a 3-and-D for a reason. There's a reason he's 3-and-D.
Exactly, 100%.
He's not 100%. Meant to run a point guard. He's not doing that. He's not running your offense.
He's not also meant to be the focal point of the offense.
No,
that's not how his game is set up. Like everybody has different, roles on the court. He's really good at his role though.
Yeah,
and that should get him into all. Yeah, that should get him to an All-Star this year. That's what I believe.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Mm-hmm. I think OG 100%. And Mikal can be All-Stars this year.
Mikal too? I don't know about Mikal because he's not going to have the same numbers and his game is not like flashy like that. But hey, I don't want to put it past him. You never know, man. You just never know. I don't want to say nobody can't do nothing because, we won the championship. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's for fact.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, Musa, man. Glad to get you on the line, man. Sorry about last night.
Yeah, you good. I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right. Big time salute.
All right. Peace.
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on Twitter. I'm stalking Twitter like no tomorrow, bro. I'm just trying to see the update before the update comes out. And I don't see no update, y'all. Yo, I honestly, I was on Twitter today, right? And I saw some net fan talking about, tell me if this is not funny. I saw a net fan say, yo, y'all owe Powell an apology because he was performing bad in Summer League. But the last 2 games he did well. I said, hold up. In Brooklyn, we got to apologize for Summer League games? That shows you what type of season they're going to have. We issuing apologies for Summer League. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, let me keep it moving. I got my man Dave. Let's see if he's available to take the call. People are bugging. Just remember, no Tyler Nickel news is good news.
My man Karan.
Uh-oh. What's going on? Dave,
Y'all triggering
Brooklyn
dudes,
to
man.
Jersey. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Y'all are triggering me off, man. Y'all mess with my girl, El Figgy.
What happened to El Figgy? Oh, but last night? Or is she triggered right now?
No, I'm siding up with El Figgy, man. Okay? Let's go. Let's get the Fritz right off the top. Okay? When you spar with somebody, El Figgy did it nice. Gave him his mouthpiece, his headgear. Tapped off a little and sent him home in a cab. All right? I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do hypotheticals.
Okay.
All right? We're going to do trends.
Okay.
Because trends lead to facts. Okay? So, Minnesota traded Cat because he was on the Super Duper Max.
Facts.
And he was no more wanted or thought of as a 1.
Right.
He gets traded into a number 2 role. Okay? He excels in his number 2 role for a third of the season. Okay? And then ends up a number 3 in the playoffs because OG outperformed him. Salute to El Figgy. Okay? Now, if we're talking about what my man he's going to do, we're going to talk trends first with OG. The trend is Julius Randle got a Skechers contract after he signed for less. Is that fact?
Technically, yes. Yep. He did have a Skechers contract.
And now OG gets a Skechers contract, even though he ain't talking good in the media and he don't do commercials really. Okay. But he's got a Skechers contract.
And he for damn sure ain't signed for less.
Right. Because he didn't sign for less. And I'm going to blow that out the water. He didn't even sign for a smidgen less, like Fritz said. Because if you take $2 million less, but I give you an extra year at 25% of the cap, and I give you the power to opt out, right? I gave you the best contract, okay? No one superseded that. So he got the max deal for that moment.
25%.
Yeah, he got 25% for an extra year, where the other teams couldn't offer that.
Right.
Okay? Then they gave him the power to opt out. And they gave him a Skechers deal. This all lays the foundation for your tricky year, 28-29. Now, you know I'm already record that's the Ant-Man watch. You already know I'm on record, right? We're going to go back to the videotape, but I already said that's the Ant-Man watch, okay? And this is a collaboration. Okay? So let's just say Cat does a 3-year deal with an opt-out after 2, right?
Yeah.
Then 28-29 is a free, open market attack on Ant-Man.
Seconds.
And the backups that we signed off of Mitch's money ain't even guaranteed. Okay?
Nope. Right.
Okay, so in the bottom line is that Cat can't ask for Supermax money when no one in the world, he can opt out right now. He cannot get Supermax money from anyone because Cat is a 2. and he's a 3 on our team. He's a 2 to anyone else. And at his position, his 2 guys who are still ones, Joker and Wemby, they're getting $52 and $53 million a year. So no, he can't even find a market to do that. So salute to El Figgy.
My only pushback to you and El Figgy is that OG is not a number 2.
No, you're saying he's not a number 2, but he outperformed him. And I'm not saying he's number 2. I'm saying he's ascending.
Yeah, you can't be a number 2 when 70% of your field goals are assisted upon.
Right, you can't be a number 2, right? But
when Cat is the reason why you're getting no shot, meaning Cat is getting you the ball because
I don't
all
mind
the
paying
attention
Cat
is
number
on
2 money.
Okay.
That's number 2 money though, but don't say the Cat's a super max when he's already been traded away for not being a super max.
I hate to break it to you, Cat is a super max because look, while you're right that okay, he probably won't get that money anywhere else. If you lose Cat, you're not going to be good. So we can't afford to have Cat walk because that's a huge loss.
So you're telling me something right now that Cat can opt out right now, right?
No. He got a year. This year's guaranteed. He got
this
1
year's
year guaranteed.
So he can opt out
next year,
and he could demand that from someone else?
No, what I'm saying is we'll be hurt though. That's all I'm saying. Like, so if he leaves us, that's going to hurt us. Like, we don't get better with losing Cat.
We're not going to have to lose him because all we're going to do is say, we'll pay you $1 million more than anyone else offering you because we're a sports agency. We already know what your market is. Okay?
So you want Cat to go to free agency?
I'm saying that Cat won't even dare to. Cat won't play a year without a contract right now. He won't take the risk. He's 31. He can't get injured.
So we agree then that he's going to sign for less because that's what I'm thinking. I do think
he's going to sign for less, bro. He's going to sign for less because he can't get 4 years from somebody. He can get this year right now.
Well, yeah, he's definitely not getting 35% from nobody. I don't see nobody saying, "Yo, Cat, we got you."
So that's not even a sacrifice. We're talking at the 30% club now, okay?
Well, technically it is a sacrifice because your team is the team that pays you the most anyway. That's just how that works.
And they can do that by giving you an extra year more than anyone else too.
Exactly, right.
Right?
So it would be on us to say, nah, we're not doing that. So, but we'll see.
But the minute he goes 4 years, 200 mil, he's got to find somebody who can do better than that, Ron. And it's going to be hard for Cat to find someone 4 years, 205. He can't get past that.
Well, the unfortunate truth for a lot of Cat fans is he'll be traded before he gets to free agency. They will have to trade him.
Oh, I think he's signing for 48 to 50 anyway, and for 4 years.
Nah, it won't be that low. I doubt it'd be that low. Because now you're talking, that's OG Anunoby money now.
No, what I'm saying is that how much is Wemby and Joker making, man? You gonna really
No, Jokic is getting 35%. Jokic is getting the same money that Towns is getting. As far as Wemby's concerned, Wemby's on a rookie extension, which he has to qualify for 30%. You don't just agree to 30%. You have to be qualified in order to get paid that. And there's no guarantee.
Actually going to give him 30% out of their cap money?
He might get somebody to give him 30, but they're not giving him 35.
Right. So that means all we got to do is give him 4 years, 200 mil, and that's pretty much the 50, man. That's pretty much the 20. That's about 29.
It'll be 220, 230, something like that. It'll be 4 years, 220, 230. It won't be 400,
and that's 55, right? So, and they'll put like 48 up front the first year. See what I mean?
Oh yeah, they could do that. Yeah, you could finagle it how you want at that point.
Right. Like so he's not going to go past that. So Cat sign because he can't go anywhere and get more than that.
Got you, Dave. Well, look, Dave, I appreciate you, man. Great pushback. You know, if Fritz is listening, hopefully he caught what you had to say.
Anytime he wants to square up, I'll be there for him.
All right. Big time salute.
Later.
All right. Salute to my man Fritz. Another thing too, I want to say this. Fritz wasn't saying that he wants to trade OG. He was saying that if he had to choose between Towns or OG, he's taking Towns. And he's not talking about now. He's talking about 28, 29, which is going to be a very interesting year for a lot of reasons. No worry. I'm going to write an article on that because there's a lot to that year that I think the Knicks could really do something phenomenal, especially if we win 3 championships in a row. That'd be crazy. I'm not guaranteeing that, but you know, we'll see what happens. See if Force answers. Salute the Hawks ATL in the building. All right, Force, I called you, man. If you want to talk, call me back, Force. I get you right on the line. But yeah, you know, salute the OG, salute the town, salute the both of them. I think it's too early to say what's going to happen in 28, 29. We got to get through 26, 27, you know, before we get to 28, 29. So I'm not even concerned about that. But I get what Fritz is talking about. He's just trying to be ahead of the curve, because during that year, you are facing some second apron decisions. And depending on how the deals work out, it could work. I mean, we'll see what happens, you know. But I don't want to trade Towns away. I don't want to lose Towns. I think losing Towns right now, like, there's no way you get better in losing Towns. That's the reality of the scenario. So while we may not think Towns is worth this, I'm going to say something. I think that if it came down to the 30, you might have to give Towns the 35%. Like the brother say, okay, Towns, we'll give you 35%, but we'll do it for 3 years. You know, maybe that could be the, you know, the workaround, the angle, you know? So now that 28, 29 year looks a little different, right? Because now flexibility to make moves, even though Towns would hold the cards because that would be a player option, you could then, you know, finagle some stuff and potentially work out another deal. But I don't know. I don't want to talk about so far out. It's just too far out for me, you know? What's good, Rock?
Yo, chill, what's going on, okay?
Nothing much, man. We got some news that the Knicks will offer Towns a contract. We just don't know how much. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not sure. Long as we keep them, but you know what? I was calling also to say that I'm not terribly happy that we don't have Nickel locked up yet, man. I mean,
oh yeah,
historically,
oh man,
the organization does not do well in the draft. So here comes this kid out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, good, he's a good fit, and now we don't have him locked up. And then Cat's contract is not solidified yet, so I'm gonna lean here, and I may be fantasizing, but I'm wondering if reason both of their situations not solidified. Are they waiting for that shoe to drop? Are they waiting on DeMar?
Ooh. Well, DeMar is already bought out, by the way. So DeMar has been available since July 8th.
Yeah, but
and we're now on August 8th, right? It was the 6th. So DeMar has been there.
Right. So are they waiting for him to? Are they having some communications and they waiting on him? Because to me, it seemed like the only play. I don't know his mindset. I mean, he's originally from LA. They really those LA guys like Gilbert Arenas. They don't really care about the championship more so, or New York. They just want that money and they want to live in LA. But to me, it makes sense for him to come to New York. It makes sense for him to come to New York. I think that's where he fits. If you want a ring, come on over here. Don't go to Philly, because think back to when he was in Toronto and LeBron was killing y'all. I remember they would have posters where LeBron was like a father and he had DeMar and well, what's his name? I forgot the point guard.
Lowry.
Lowry.
Kyle
he had them
Lowry.
on his lap like they was his sons. And you hear all kinds of noise about that. It's the only place to go. You don't want to go to Cleveland. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland and play with Harden. That's why LeBron ain't go. Because Harden says he's the system, and he know he will bump heads with LeBron. Can't go to Miami. I mean, could go to Miami, but it's kind of crowded over there.
No shooters.
And we got a flowing system here.
Right.
I mean,
he should come to the Knicks, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the only place. It's the only explanation I got, man. And maybe they're waiting for the DeMar Rosen shoe to drop, man. See where he goes. I hope that's the case. Maybe I'm fantasizing, but I'm holding on to that.
10 seconds.
I don't know. We gonna find out though. I would love DeMar DeRozan. You know, I was talking about him from the beginning. So
yeah,
man. So we'll see. Well, we'll see with Leon. There's something in store though. For it to be this quiet, it's got to be something there, Rock.
Yeah, hopefully, and not to mention, I think also Lee waiting for see after everybody gets cut, see who's left over. Somebody's gonna be left over in the terms of big men anyway.
Right. Exactly, man. I appreciate you, Rock. Great call.
All right, bro.
All right. Waltz P. OKF Nation Plus in the building. What's up?
Hello?
How's it going, man?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. You know, we just talking about Towns right now, and a lot of it's quiet, man. It's no Tyler Nickel news. I mean, what the hell is going on?
I mean, I tuned in hearing about, with Cat and everything like that, with him possibly, looking to see about him, if he's gonna take a discount or anything like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, do I think he'll take a discount? I don't know. If he do, it's gonna be very minimal, most likely. But I'll say this, man. If they don't come to a conclusion, I honestly would look to trade him, man.
That's why my title is the way it is.
Yeah, because remember, like, just look at if Cat is disgruntled, that's a problem. Because look at how he was sulking and stuff in the beginning of the season last year.
Right.
You feel me? Because he was his name was quote unquote in trade rumors for the Greek Freak.
Right.
So you don't want to bring a disgruntled Cat into the season because he ain't getting his money.
But hold on though. But you get worse if you trade Cat. So shouldn't you just give him the 35% so you could at least maintain a chance of getting back at the championship? Or no, that's just too big of a risk.
I mean, you could, because his deal won't kick in until next year, right? Because he would get, opt out of his last year of his contract, and the money would kick in next year.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Like, I guess you could keep him, so we could see if we could run it back, and if not, we could look to trade him in the offseason or something like that.
Right.
But if you can't work out a deal, man, I say trade him. And
100%.
I don't know. Tell me what you think,
you might
man.
have to. But honestly, I think trading him is the ultimate last resort. Like,
no, yeah,
he's
definitely,
in there
definitely.
cocky. He's in there cocky, like, ha, I got you by the balls.
Exactly.
You can't win without me. Pay me my 30. Okay, all right, we gotta let's call up Memphis.
Because I was looking at possibly Portland, yo.
Or Portland. Hey, let's call up Portland, whoever.
Because I would I wouldn't mind a deal for Towns and Deuce for Robert Williams, Danny, whatever his name is, Avdija. Yeah, Avnia and Drew Holiday.
I don't see the trade playing out like that, because
I don't see it. I don't.
Usually, you're not going to get like an all-star level player for an all-star level player. Usually, it's the Trae Young package. We'll give you CJ, Corey Kispert, and some picks. Yeah. Well, there was no picks in the Trae Young deal, but I'm just saying, that's usually what you get back, because teams know you're desperate.
Oh yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I look at it like this. Minnesota didn't really want to come off of Cat, but it was for financial purposes, this, that, and the third. But they didn't really want to come off of him. Like, they would be willing to keep him, and if they went into the second apron, I probably believe they probably just would have went in the second apron with him. So it wasn't like they was like looking to trade for him, and they got a decent deal with, what's his name? Randall and DiVincenzo. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if the business is out there like that in the public, then yeah, I think so. But Leon Rose don't really operate like that. He operate like a thief in the night.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I don't know. And just to hark back, because I think the other caller was saying, talking about, somebody called up and was talking about OG. I recall the other day, I referenced OG saying, yo, he stepped up with his offense, but the reason why he's getting it is because of Cat and Brunson, having so much gravity. That's how he's able to come off. You feel me? So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I know I
know you said that.
Yeah, you feel me?
No, it's just that because you know what it was? The conversation last night became dicey because the OG-ites, I think that's the new name for the OG fan. The OG-ites, they was offended by Fritz because Fritz was saying that he thinks in 28-29 that OG will be traded. Because because if he wants the super max, because OG might want the 35%. So the OG-ites is like, yo, man, we'll give OG the 35%, trade Towns. So then it was like this back and forth kind of thing. And me personally, I'm like, man, well, I got an article that I'm getting ready to write talking about this. So I'm not really saying much, but it's very interesting to see what's going to happen. Because look, if you don't win the championship, then everything is on the table. Anybody can be traded. You start losing, you getting bumped in the first round, whether you an OG-ite, a Brunsonite, whoever the hell your favorite player is, they might get the hell up out of here. Like you start losing and LeBron is winning championships on the way out. Nobody's safe. Nobody.
The only way everybody's safe is if they make it to the finals and they lose in the finals. Something like that. You feel me?
Maybe.
Because at least, that's what I'm like. Worst case scenario, that's like
the best chance. It's a better chance.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you fall short of winning it all, the only thing that would be possibly acceptable is if you lost in the finals, like in the game 6 or 7 or something like that. You know what I mean? So that would be
like I'm glad you put the 6-7. You can't get swept up there. Like,
exactly.
Well, at least we made it to the finals.
Exactly. Like if you wind up like San Antonio, shout out to Brownsville Spurs fan. If you wind up like that, then that's a problem. Everybody's gonna be like, yo, get everybody up out of there. But that's interesting though, like that conversation, because I gotta check that live out from last night. Yeah, I gotta check it out.
It was
or whatever.
crazy.
But
if you got time,
just
let it play.
I'm gonna check it out.
Do what you do.
That's what I do at work. That's what I do at work while I'm at work. I just let it play and it passed the time. But I don't know, man. Like to keep either OG or Towns, like, because I'm looking at it like Towns is gonna be in his 30s, like probably mid 30s by then. OG will be a little bit younger, so that's a tough decision, bro.
No, but listen, when OG signs his deal, he's gonna be the same 30-31. He's gonna be in the same bucket as Towns when he gets his money. Remember, because Towns is getting his money now. The only way I see a scenario if you keep OG is if OG, like from this season coming up on, he's a bona fide all-star, putting up 20, like 25. You get what I'm saying? Like he's really like, you see the elevation. But are we saying 20 plus or 25 with that assist percentage at 70? Or is that assist percentage at 40? And he's out there getting tough man buckets. Because if your assist percentage is 70,
right,
and I gotta get rid of Towns, who's making your life easier, that becomes a risk.
If it's a situation, if it's a scenario like that, it's still kind of hard though, because Brunson will be up there in age. Who knows if Colett might, step up or something like that. So it's hard to say, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's very different. That's why I'm leaving it. I'm just gonna wait till my article. I'll write my article. And then we gonna see what's gonna happen.
If it is the 70%, then I'll say, like, if it's tough man buckets, then it's a no-brainer. But if you're
like he out there like Kawhi,
exactly.
giving dudes the work. Okay, that's
exactly.
You might have to pay that right there.
Exactly.
But if I'm just shooting open threes and getting dunks, backdoor dunks, I mean, you know,
and
I don't know if that's a supermax player.
And it can't be slippage in his defense either. I can't see no slippage.
Yeah, your defense can't go down because now you get buckets. Now you getting tough man buckets. You don't want to play defense no more.
Exactly.
Bro, because I still hoop, as y'all know. Yo, the hardest thing to do is get tough man buckets and play defense. It's very difficult to do.
Oh, yeah. So, see, and back in the day, it was more manageable because the game was slowed down. Now it's a track meet. So it's very difficult. Very difficult.
You got to chase around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown bullying you. And then you want me to get 30 or 25. No, good luck.
Exactly.
Luck. That's why Kawhi is a great player. But Kawhi don't play defense like that no more either.
Nah, he don't.
We know he could, but he ain't defending like that. He ain't not like when he was younger. When he was younger, that's when he was the real Terminator. He was defending everybody. But now, he ain't doing that.
Exactly. That's why I like Mikal. As much as people get on Mikal, we know during the regular season he's not balling his hardest. He waits till the playoffs, and that's when you see the Mikal Bridges that we
100%.
Traded for. So
100%. And it's not why he's doing 20 either. His job is not to get 20. His job is to get a 15, shoot efficiently, play defense.
And before I hop off, right? Because I know a conversation the other day was about, is Mikal, like I'm paraphrasing, but is Mikal on the level of OG as far as like the offense, something to that effect or whatever? Like, are we giving up on Mikal or whatever with the offense? And I'm looking at it like, people are sleeping on Mikal like Mikal can't ball, because at the end of the day, Mikal, if he wants to, is a bucket getter. With that fadeaway midi, he is a bucket getter. He can
but hold on. You could argue that he's a more prolific scorer than OG. You could argue that.
Yeah, because I went back and was looking at our playoff run, and I'm looking at the way Mikal was getting buckets and the way OG was getting buckets, and I'm like, Mikal is nasty, Like, that dude. So don't sleep on Mikal Bridges.
Don't sleep on Mikal. And look, I want to put something on the screen. Look at the amount of shots that OG Anunoby took. Look at the amount of shots that Mikal took. Look at the amount of shots they made. They both made 5.8 field goals a game. And OG has 12 field goals while he has 11.7. Remember, I'm not sure if you remember, but we talked about that on the members only show. I was like, they getting the same shots. The only reason why OG averaged more points is because, one, he attempts more free throws. He's getting 2 more free throws a game. So that's the reason why he has the 2 points. But nonetheless, I digress.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, Rose P.
No
Thank
doubt,
you for
brother.
that.
No doubt. All right, man. Salute.
All right. And I got my girl L Figgy up in here. The OG-ites. That's the new name right there. The OG-ites. Hey, L Figgy, what's going on?
What's good? What's good, KP? What's good, guys?
I gotta ask you a question. Would you take offense if I called you an OG-ite? Because I don't want to offend you.
No. Okay. I would love it if you call. I would wear. I'd wear that badge with honor, because that's that's me, man. You already know.
Let's go.
OG's the hill I'll die on. But let me preface the call by saying, I love Cat. And people say he's top 3 centers in the league. I'm gonna sit here and say he's the number 1 center in the league because I'm gonna say this because he's the best for us. He fits into our team perfectly. You can bring other people here, but I would say that OG fits our offensive scheme. He fits what we got going. He follows Jalen's lead. He complements the team the best out of any big in the league. So I'm gonna go and preface that first. Yeah. But again, I'm gonna say this because when I'm pressed, and if you're gonna ask me, I had to choose between OG and Cat. Let's say we had to choose one of them to have been injured in the finals. I would No, I don't want that. I'm saying though, if one of them had to go down, I damn sure would not have wanted it to be OG, because OG is the best two-way player in the league. Again, nobody does what OG does at the level he does it. OG, to me, the block he had on De'Aaron Fox was as clutch as the tip, in my opinion. He did that. He did it. What if he fouls him, Karan? What if he fouls him there? You put De'Aaron Fox on the line, he gets the 2 points, game over. OG does everything. He stays out of foul trouble. He defends. He scores. He does it all. And by the way, it's not just the amount of buckets he gets. It's the timely buckets. It's the threes he gets when we're chopping away at a double digit lead. In game four, Cat had to sit down within the first minute and a half of the game. I'm not going to say that's his fault because I know he has an unfriendly whistle. But nevertheless, he got called on.
Let me say it for you. That was his fault. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay, then there you go. You're agreeing with me that Cat gets into foul trouble. OG does not. OG's able to be more impactful. And I'll go so far as to say, if we had OG when we played the Miami Heat 4 years ago, Jimmy Butler is food for OG. We would have swept Miami, and we would have gone to the finals. Facts. And by the way, if OG had been on the team, let me ask y'all, how does OG do? When does OG have his best games against Denver? I say we beat the Nuggets, and that would have been our first chip if we had had OG in that time. If we had had OG 2 years ago, when he went down with the hamstring against the Pacers, because when we were up 2-0 against the Pacers, everyone forgets who was locking up Pascal Siakam. It was OG.
That year he did good, yeah.
Okay, and we weren't just up 2-0. We were dominating the Pacers. All right. So again, OG, obviously we know what he did for us during this final run. I don't think we need to sit here and debate who's better, who's worse. I'm just gonna sit here and say, thank you, Leon Rose, that we got both of these guys that just have been so integral in getting us this chip. And that's all I got again. But OG's my man.
Figgy, but that's why I didn't make the choice that last night. I'm like, first of all, I got to see what happened. Like, that's too. First of all, did we win 3 championships in a row? You know, did we? You know what I'm saying? I gotta, that matters. We gotta see how that plays out before we say, this guy go or that guy go. But I got an article I'm writing too. That's another reason why I didn't want to say much. And I'm gonna talk so much about that year because that year is very important. But we'll see what happens. But I appreciate you, Figgy.
Yo, man, appreciate you, Karan. Keep fighting a good fight, man. And y'all got to get on this 82 Nights book, man. You guys have got to see Karan. You gotta show that book, man. That book is fire. The artwork, the cover artwork is beautiful. It is gonna be a nice way for everybody to call in post games, man. So yeah, keep going.
Fact.
Oh yeah, it's gonna keep the post game calls going real smooth, yo. Appreciate you, Karan.
Thank you, Figgy.
All right, man.
All right. Yeah, this is what she's talking about. This is the tool that I use to stay on top of my basketball grind. And I'm giving you the opportunity to use it as well. All you got to do is hit the link tree to pre-order now. This is the soft cover version. We also got the hardcover, the hardcore version. The hardcover version is this. All right. This is the standard 82 Nights with the galaxy in the sky. By the way, I designed both of these covers, so, I put the work in and I designed every element in the book. All right. And this is what I use personally. This is, of course, is not the complete New York edition because I'm waiting on the schedule. I don't know if y'all can see it because of lighting, but nonetheless, all you got to do, hit that link tree. I appreciate Figgy for the plug. I'll see. I might come back tonight. I'm not sure. I got to see what happens with Tyler Nickel, but I do appreciate you guys and all your support. Until next time, as always, let's go Knicks.